What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's Kush back at again with another episode of Just Chillin podcast call-in show. What up, everybody? If you were a member in the chat, for example, I see Bobby Woodruff in there. The link is in community notes for members. Go over it, click on it, join. The first 30 minutes will be members only. I'm gonna try to get as much of you in here as possible. So like depending on if there's 4 members in the back, I'm gonna try to split that 30 minutes evenly. You guys know how it goes. When we hit the 10 o'clock mark, I'm going to drop the StreamYard link in the chat for anybody that wants to join to call into the show and give us, give me your thoughts and whatnot. We should have a jam-packed show in terms of topics because, well, we got the Leonard Williams deal done today, re-signed 3 years, $63 million, an average of $21 million a year, but his cap hit this year is only 11 mil, so we actually saved on a bit of money. We added John Ross to the roster for a 1 year, $2.5 million deal, only $1 million guaranteed. So I'm really happy with that. Very low risk, potential high reward. He's honestly a depth wide receiver on the outside type signing. So I like it. And I mean, that's really the moves that we made today, I think, unless there's another one I can't think of. Of course, yesterday we made a couple moves as well. With all that being said, we signed the former fullback of the Texans. I think that was a special team signing, though, just because of the snaps that he played on special teams for the Texans, and that one kind of has Joe Judge's hands all over it, in my opinion. I'm going to pop him the first member tonight because he got to watch the Knicks game, so I'm trying to get him in and out here in a timely fashion. Logan, what's up, Logan? How you doing, bro?
What's good, bro? The Knicks are up.
The Knicks are up? Oh, word. What's the score?
58-43, I think.
I bet. We're on a 13-game losing streak against the 76ers, so we better break it.
Bro, that was a crappy call last night, let's be honest.
100%. We got robbed, in my opinion.
I was salty. I uploaded a rant video last night. But how you feel about the Leo signing?
I like it. I like it a lot. Like, even when it happened, I liked it. I said to myself, he still got above 20 million, but am I really going to complain about the fact that he got $1 million more than 20 million? Like, no, I'm not. And the way that they structured it, and the way that he agreed to structure it so that, we have an extra 8 million cap this year, I like it a lot. Some people are going to complain about the fact that, in fact, I have seen some people complain on Twitter about the fact that next year he's earning basically $27 million, and the year after that, like 26. I'm rounding up, but I'm like, well, that's what happens when you free up cap space for this particular year. I'm fine with it. I still think he's valued at around $18, $19 million.
Yeah.
But for what the market is, considering defensive tackles, that is not the edge rushing market this year because that was pretty low. But for what the market is for defensive tackles in the league right now, I mean, you know what? I'm good with it. And more than anything, I'm just happy that we got it over with because immediately we have so much more flexibility now.
In my opinion, I'd much rather overpay him for just 3 years and we could get rid of him after short term. I'd rather do that instead of pay him 20 mil a year for 5 years. Like, look what we did in 2016 when we signed Olivier Vernon, Janoris Jenkins, guys like that.
This isn't even that much of an overpay. Like I said, I think this is like, honestly speaking, it's probably like $2-3 million more than what he's worth. I can live with it.
Also, you think we're going to get rid of Eli Penny now, or do you think that guy's just a special teamer?
That's a good question, right? Because Eli Penny has always been the fullback for us, like the past 3-4 years?
Yeah.
Is Eli Penny still on the roster? That's actually a really good question. Let me look that up. Penny contract.
Fullbacks are underappreciated. I said it there.
He signed a 2-year, $2.2 million with the Giants. This was last year. So he's earning $990,000 this year. So he's earning below $1 million. I really think now the fullback. What kind of contract did we give the fullback? Let me see.
I have no idea.
I want to say he's going to be a special teamer. That's the thing that's screaming in my mind right now. I want to say he's going to be kind of a special teamer for us. But if he does come in and replace Eli Penny, I mean, I like Eli Penny, but I'm not really looking at what our fullbacks are like. I'm guessing they think he has better blocking. I mean, I don't know what else to say. He might also be younger. He's 25. I think Eli Penny's maybe like 26, 27. I mean,
yeah,
we'll see.
I like the John Ross signing. He's a guy that can stretch the field. So he's not a starter. I think he's a 3rd or 4th receiver, but I think he could be decent.
I like the John Ross signing a lot just because in my mind, I was thinking to myself, I'm going to get a outside depth receiver in the draft in addition to whoever we draft as a number 1 receiver anyway. Now I'm just thinking to myself, I don't need to use a second pick on a wide receiver.
Yeah, Bullock with the big dunk.
Oh, Bullock just had a dunk? Nice.
Yeah. How do you feel about the Wait, no. Would you be okay taking a pass rusher in the first round, like an outside linebacker type, like Azeez Ojulari?
Not at 11. I was having this debate on Twitter today, and the guy has yet to respond to me, but it was actually a pretty good, legitimate debate. It wasn't like your regular Twitter debate where it's just one side screaming at the other. It was like a legitimate debate, and I was having fun with it because I'm like, we were both bringing up good points. He's like, he would consider taking an edge at 11. I told him my reason as to why I don't think there's any edge of value at the 11 spot. You know, the guy he brought up that I would consider taking at 11 is Kwity Paye. But then I told him I don't think Paye's gonna be an edge in our system. And then we re-signed Leo anyway. So I'm like, I don't know how Paye's gonna fit in here. The only other guy I'm looking at will be Ojulari. And like at that point I'm thinking, would I really reach at the 11th pick for Ojulari? He's a really good edge. So depending on how you define it, you could say it's a reach or not. I think it would be a little bit of a reach.
If Micah Parsons doesn't keep doing that freak nasty stuff, I wouldn't be too mad if we drafted him, but I'm not sure.
That popped back in my mind as well because I'm like, if we end up signing Golladay, which has been the name connected to us since essentially the tampering period began, if we end up signing him, I wouldn't be mad if we go defense in the first round. Like I wouldn't even be mad if we go defense in the first round if we don't sign Golladay. But I guess I should say I'd be a lot more like pleased if we go defense in the first round. Like I'm heavily considering if a guy like Surtain is there. I'm heavily considering them now and stuff like that.
You know who? Go ahead. I don't say this, but you know who I just want now at this point? Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, no, like I don't blame you, bro. If we sign Kenny, man. Bro, listen, Logan. If we sign Kenny, our wide receiving room is Kenny Golladay, Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, John Ross, Dante Pettis. All that. We got Saquon Barkley and Booker in the backfield, and we got Evan Engram, who we could trade away and get rid of. So if they take Kyle Pitts at that point, I'm like, you know what, low key, yeah, I do that, bro. You talk about when the more elite, just weapon core in the NFL. Like at that point, I would be completely open. Like, yeah, man, just go ahead, give me Kyle Pitts. I really wouldn't care because you would get your number one in free agency. But I mean, no, I'd still though, I'd still take like Waddle if Waddle's there at 11. I'd still take.
Because that would just be an OP receiving core.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to hop out here, man. Thanks for having me on.
No problem, Logan. Enjoy the Knicks game. Hopefully we break the losing streak against the 76ers, man. Have a good one.
Ooh, Bullock with the 3.
All right. It's looking good. Have a nice one, Nate.
All right, peace.
Next up, we got Mike Nixon. Mike, how you doing, bro? Mike was, what's funny, guys?
Up,
me and Mike were texting on Discord, and Mike was like, bro, I want something to happen. And then like an hour later, the Leonard Williams signing happens.
Man, I'm happy that Leo's back.
Mm-hmm.
I really am. And you know what? 21 mil is all right with me.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right for me because he's important to our defense.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then it's like the man is taking 11 mil this year. So that just makes me even happier.
Yeah. I still want Golladay, though.
Well, we have a legitimate chance now.
I know. Please, Golladay, if you're watching this, please sign with us.
Yeah, we all have to do our part. I tweeted out. I sent Kenny Golladay a message, guys, on Twitter. I was like, bro, come over to the Giants. And I sent him the dap me up meme. All right, I did my part. Now, all 50 people watching here needs to go on Twitter, DM Kenny Golladay and be like, yo, come to the Giants. If we all do it, he can't ignore it. There's no way he could ignore it if we all do it.
And you know what? I will pencil in a win against the Chicago Bears.
They got Andy Dalton.
Yeah, man. Leonard Williams will have fun sacking Andy Dalton some more.
Mm-hmm. Shout out, by the way, to Sunny D in the chat, Manny, Brito, Evans, Pittsburgh. A good amount of people in here. Thank you guys for tuning in. But yeah, now Dalton goes over to the Bears. Do we play the Bears this year?
I think we do.
There's been a couple teams for like the past 4 years or so. We just always play no matter what. Like the Bucs, we've been playing the Bucs since 2017. The
And
Niners,
I
I think
think
we've been playing since
I
2018.
think we play them again, don't
Yeah, we
we?
played them again because now they're actually on our schedule with the NFC side. I'm pretty sure.
And it's looking like Zach Ertz might be a Bill. The
A
Bills
Bill?
are heavily, yeah, the Bills are heavily pursuing him.
Hey, yo, listen. Dave Gettleman, if you're watching this stream, I need you to undercut the Eagles and offer Evan Engram to the Bills. Okay? The Bills don't want Zach Ertz. They want a fast, speedy guy like Evan Engram. You need to give Evan Engram to the Bills, bro. Just take the 4th-round pick that they're going to give you. All right? Appeal to the Bills. Call them up. Be like, listen, for Ertz, you're going to need to give up like a 2nd or a 1st. To get easy Evan Engram, you only need to give me a 4th. Who's complaining?
Yeah.
Take Evan now.
The Bills are gonna be good again this year. They've
been good for the past 2 years.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But they signed Emmanuel Sanders today. I
did see
like
that. They signed. He was a 1-year contract as well, right?
I think, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, how about the Patriots?
I mean, the Patriots had the 3rd most cap space, so it will make sense. They were just going wild.
True. You know what? I'm kind of happy for Cam. He's got weapons now. So, I mean, he has no excuse now. No excuse.
I mean, Cam, well, I will say one thing. They still need to low-key fix that line. The line was pretty bad last year for him. But, yeah, definitely in terms of weapons, he's loaded with weapons now, and they still have the draft.
Yeah.
So I think they just need to shore up that offensive line a bit. And the Patriots are back in business. They were only out of it for 1 season.
I actually heard they might go after Chris Carson too.
Who, the Pats?
Yeah.
And I heard that that's funny because I heard the Seahawks might go after Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
But guys, I don't know if you're gonna consider this breaking news, but because I'm scrolling through Twitter, I just got a very recent tweet by Jordan Renan here, literally like a minute ago. I'm gonna share my screen. Depending on how you guys take this, it's very relevant, free agency news. Jordan Renan is saying he's hearing from multiple league sources that Leonard Floyd was a Giants' big miss. They went hard, but Floyd chose to return to the Rams. Also, the Giants were in the mix to some degree on tight end Hunter Henry, which is interesting. Shows that they weren't necessarily waiting for Leonard Williams' deal to get it done. This makes me happy on 2 points. One, the second thing he said, they weren't waiting on Leonard Williams' deal to get done to make any moves. It just didn't happen, which is good. And 2, this means that the joke I made about trading Evan Engram isn't really that much of a joke if they were in on Hunter Henry.
I'm kind of glad we didn't get Leonard Floyd for how much he got paid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a little bit overpaid now.
Yeah, what is he getting? Like 16?
I believe so.
Yeah, I want to say he was like the 3rd highest edge contract this year. So yeah, I definitely feel you there. Mm-hmm. But I like the fact that we were in on it, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? That like it shows the front office, like the tweet said, wasn't just waiting around.
I mean, yeah, true. Because to be honest, I won him in that draft. And of course Chicago had to be all trade the uppie and get him.
Mm-hmm.
Which we missed out on.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's also the draft that we could have signed, that we could have drafted Todd Gurley too.
What year did Todd Gurley come out? Because Leonard Floyd, I think, was 2016 draft.
Oh. 2020. Gurley was 2015 then.
You could be right. It's either 2015 or 2016. By the way, shout out to Punkum in here, Arjuna as well. Got a couple other people in here. Thank you guys for tuning in. And yeah, and they're
But
posting
hey,
in the tweet. Yeah.
We got Barkley, and I'm happy because now Todd Gurley. It's unfortunate he's washed up now,
Ooh.
and his arthritis is no joke.
Mm-hmm.
No joke, man.
Yeah, Bryce is sports talk in here as well. I'm Big Blue in the Bronx. You're talking about Todd Gurley, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Is he still with the Falcons?
He's actually a free agent.
Okay.
But I don't think anybody will pick him up, to be honest. I mean, unless you put him in the right situation to where he's not starting, but can be a goal line back. Because I think that would be his role now.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to say shout out to AJ Ford in the chat, Ms. Rahi, Jay, the Giants fan, New Jersey Jake, Michael Weiss. Thank you all for tuning in. AJ Ford, by the way, is a pretty funny Giants Twitter account online. That dude's hilarious. But yeah, go ahead there, Mike.
Yeah, because I just don't think Todd Gurley has it anymore.
I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, how you feel about the Devonta Booker signing that we made yesterday?
I like it. I like it. I truthfully think he's better than Gallman. As far as upside, better than Gallman. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Gallman. He absolutely balled out this year.
And I think that Gallman, while he balled out this year, if we were to re-sign him, I'm gonna be honest, we probably would have re-signed him to a similar contract. I mean, we got a good backup running back in Devonta Booker. The main complaint I've seen from a lot of people is that maybe it was a bit too much. Maybe I am too lackadaisical with worrying about the contract, but because it's $3 million a year, well, it's actually $2.5 million for the first year, and you could get out after the first year. So I'm looking at it as a 1 year, $2.5 million deal. I'm like, that's fine. Right. But some people think it might be a bit too much for a backup. So I could kind of understand him from there. And Mizrahi, you got a channel, bro, by the way. He says he made a video on Tom People about passion or something like that. And then Carlos Sanchez got a question about the Golladay signing. But yeah, go ahead there, Mike.
Yeah. Man, can the Knicks beat the Sixers? Can we please end that streak?
I mean, is the score, are they still up? When Logan was in here,
I have no idea.
It's 71-69, 5 minutes left in the third quarter right now.
Oh my God.
The 76ers have outscored them in the third right now by 6 points. It looks like they might be collapsing. Yeah. I'm sorry. It is what it is. We can't beat the Sixers for some reason. It's like the Giants and the Eagles like before last year.
Dude, I cannot believe yesterday. That was a bullshit call. Excuse my French.
No, I agree with you, man. I mean,
dude,
Kyrie got his whole hand on the ball, and like everybody, including like guys on Twitter, like Damian Lillard was tweeting about like Kyrie had his hand on the ball. That's wrong against the Knicks right there.
And the report came out, and they said that it was the correct call.
Why? How? What's the logic?
I forget what the reasoning was, but it's like called the last 2 minutes or something report, and they said that the ref got it right.
Well, I don't understand that. Let me quickly get Carlos's question because I've frozen the chat here at 9:39 and now it's 9:41, so it's been 2 minutes. He's like, "What are your chances of Golladay keep coming to the Giants? Keep it 100." All right, you want me to be completely honest with you? I think we have a good chance just because of the cap space. I don't know if I were to do like the percentage of him coming to us. As crazy as it sounds, I still think it's like 50-50, which is way better than it was yesterday, which was like 20-80 in my opinion. But it's really a 50-50 thing. I could see us signing Golladay. I could see us not signing Golladay and using that cap to go in other directions, like getting a linebacker, another linebacker, getting another corner, maybe even still signing a guard. If we sign Golladay, of course, that means we address all of those positions in the draft, which is very much possible. So that's why I'm like, you know what? Honestly, bro, it's like 50-50 if we get Golladay. And I'm good either way, in my opinion.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
About 50-50. Maybe 40-60, but somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I'm at right now.
But Mike, let me get your last question so I could pop Joel in here.
Does everybody sub up the hub, man?
Thank you, Mike.
Go Knicks.
Go Knicks. Hopefully they close it out. What's the score at right now? Currently, it's 78-71, bro. Let's get it. 78-71.
All right.
Peace, Mike. Have a good one.
Peace.
Now we got the beard coming on. Joel, how you doing, man?
No, the beard's already taken. You know, authentic in the beard. So I got to be Beard Junior or something there. Man, how y'all doing tonight, Hub?
I'm doing good. You know what's funny? I put out 3 videos today, which I think is the most I ever put out in my entire YouTube career in a single day, right? My first vid, I was like, guys, I know some of y'all are not happy, but, you know, stay patient. And look at what happened like 2 hours later.
Yep.
Everybody's mood flipped as soon as we signed Leo.
Yep, I know. I went fishing, and then I'm down there. My phone starts going ballistic, and I look at it real quick. And
yeah, by the way,
wow.
Joel, did you cut your beard?
I trimmed it a little bit.
It looks a bit shorter, man.
Well, I mean, I look like a burdock. I couldn't handle it no more.
The chat is beside themselves, man.
Yeah, I noticed that one. But, you know, hey, guys, come to the dark side. Pitts at 11. Pitts at 11. I've been saying
you see what's funny, Joel, is you say that as a joke, but I think even you might start to, you know, come around with it.
Listen, you know what? This goes back to the Daniel Jones pick. I sat and I watched Bad Dog and I watched the Entertainer stream. And when they made that pick, and my wife can testify, they went off the deep end. I was laughing so hard. And I've watched the rebuild before. I've been through the frustrations. I'm like, we should get this guy, that guy. They didn't make this move, didn't make that move. But then all of a sudden, things just kind of worked out. It's like Edward asked me in the chat, and he says, Joel, why do you have blind faith in the coaching staff? And I said, it's not so much as blind faith, but I could sit here as a fan, and I can say, we need this guy, we need that guy. But the decisions are all coming down from the team. So I'm going to sit back, and I'm going to see who they want. Because the rumors are starting to come out now, just like we were in on the Floyd deal, but he chose another team. You know, free agency's hard because somebody might not want to come here.
Thank you. Two-way street.
You know, exactly. So it's not that I'm just a blind follower and have faith. I'm just not going to get upset because they got somebody that I don't think is the right fit. But these guys watch thousands of hours of film. These guys are in the office. They sleep in the office overnight. You know, they're constantly working together. They're constantly talking about these guys. It's like everyone's saying John Ross is a bad pick. We don't know how Garrett wants to scheme him in.
But even on that, Joel, who's really complaining about $1 million deal?
People are. They're like, he's injury prone. He's fast, but he can't catch the ball. He's this, he's that. Man, this ain't Madden. Madden, you can go pick up a guy like that, and you know you're gonna win the game. You know, this is, you know, so you got speed on the outside. Now they got to concede for that. You know, you got Slayton. We've got, I just lost all train of thought. Concussion kid there.
Shepard?
Yeah, Shepard. You know, we've got the two receivers. Yeah, they were undrafted free agents, but we don't know what they're doing in the offseason. We don't know the growth that they're seeing. We don't see the practice field every day. We don't have all that film from that they had last year. So it's just me. I go with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to get upset about it anymore. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to root for my team. I'm going to watch the team. And whoever Judge and Garrett and Dave Gettleman want to get, the thing that's really surprising, have you noticed, we're not doing the Reese deal 5 years. They're all three. Every contract is.
And I'll say that
years.
that's definitely a Joe Judge influence right there, because Gettleman wasn't doing 3-year deals before last year.
No. So that goes to tell you the Judge is definitely getting some say as to who he wants. And then
by the way, that goes for both good and bad moves. For anybody that's still a little bit peeved about Dalvin Tomlinson, the coaching staff had a say in that, I'm sure.
Yes. So it might be a terrible free agency, but we thought last year was a terrible free agency. We had the second best corner in the league. We had one of the top 5 linebackers in the league. We had the best kicker in the league. I don't care what anybody says. He missed one field goal. You know, how can you complain about that? You know, guys, man, it's just take it easy. Let's enjoy this. We all seen progress. We all seen hope. We seen growth. We have some star players on here, but going from college to the pros, you know, everybody wants to trade Engram. Well,
that's why I highlighted this. Lucas say Chargers may be a good trade destination for him now that they're without a tight end.
Yeah, maybe not. Do they want him? Do they have the cap room? What are they looking at? You know, they're looking at O-line. The last I saw, didn't they sign somebody, O-lineman, for a huge contract?
They signed the guy that a lot of us wanted for our guard, Matt Fielder.
Yeah. So, that's what they're looking at. Are they going to look at Engram as a blocking tight end when we all know, and it's on tape, that he's not a blocking tight end? So the Chargers might say, yeah, I'll give you a 4th-round pick for him. Whereas if we just hang on to him and let him go next year, we get a 3rd comp pick.
Well, that's if we don't sign anybody next year, though.
Right.
I think we might. I don't know. Well, actually, I can't predict that, but that's only if we don't sign anybody next year. Anybody big.
Well, you know, and then next year we're going to have that $100 million. But
because of the contracts, it's going to be used up a bit. The way the contracts are structured.
We got to re-sign Peppers.
Mm-hmm.
Barkley's going to be coming off of that's his contract year this year. You know, if we want to keep Engram or not, next year is his contract. This is his contract year. This is his 5th-year option. You know, well, yeah, that money's gone. You figure Peppers is going to want what, 14, 15 mil a year? Barkley, he's going to want 17, 18 a year. But because of these 3-year deals, because then you got Daniel Jones right behind it. If he produces, we're going to have to extend him. We see what the quarterback market's like. Yeah, there's guys out there, but everyone's searching now. Mm-hmm. Guys don't want to be on this team. Guys don't want to be on that team. It's gonna flip-flop next year more than it is now because all that money's out there.
And by the way, on the Engram thing, because I've been the head of get rid of Evan Engram train essentially since week 6, and I'll stand my ground on that. If we could get rid of him and get something in return, I will be celebrating. I will keep it real. Yet at the same time, if we don't do anything with him and we keep him, I'll be fine with it because he's playing on a very cheap 5th-year deal, 5th-year option from his rookie contract, 1. And 2, he definitely is not going to be the number 1 target again. Last year, I think a lot of the reason for his mental mishaps and him dropping balls so much was because he was the number 1 target. He got more targets than anybody, any other receiving weapon on the team, I think. So with an improved receiving core, whether that's through free agency or through draft, he's not going to be that anymore, should everybody stay healthy. So I think that takes a bit of pressure off of him.
Last year he got used so much, I'm not a fan of Evan Engram either.
Mm-hmm.
However, it could be a turning point for him last year. They're like, wow, they showed all that.
Because remember, Judge is in love with the guy somehow.
No, so he might be saying to himself, look, I better step up or I'm going to get stepped out.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know what he's doing in the offseason. He could come back better than, the player he was with a different mindset, saying, wow, they had that much faith in me. And I you know what? I dropped some balls. I caused some turnovers. I fumbled the ball. I'm going to have to do something to clean it up because I want my money. Nobody's going to pay him now. I mean, he might get a 2-year, 3-year deal for $18 million, but that's not what he wants.
Yep.
No,
Shout out to Pest in the chat, by the way. He was live on Twitch not too long ago, guys.
Yo, PTA. It's good, my guy. So just enjoy this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, moves do not happen overnight very rarely. The last time the Giants made big moves, big splashes, we paid for it 5 years later. And now all this news is starting to come out. Judge and Gettleman are looking at guys, but it's on their terms.
Mm-hmm.
It's their deals. They're willing to move, negotiate. I was worried about Leo if he got, because we've seen it before. He gets that guy gets a 5-year deal. He gets his money, and then he stops producing. He doesn't show up in shape. He's not. Look, I'm not saying Leo is in that class of character. I'm not. I wish the best for Leo. Mm-hmm. Now that he's a Giant, I'm going to root for him. Mm-hmm. However, I did say I didn't think he'd be on the team
because he was all about the money.
It seemed that way, but then it's like you never really heard him say it. Mm-hmm. You never really heard his agent say it.
It's just the reports that we've heard.
Right.
And the one quote we did get from him is when he said it's about the respect.
Exactly. So, these reporters are coming out with this clickbait, which we've had this discussion too. Mm-hmm. How the press and the media is what drives the wedge between the fans, the players, and the owners.
Mm-hmm.
So, we hear a report that he wants big money, but that could be some guy just, look, I need to make an article this week, and I'm going to put this out.
And let me give a shout out to Pest for the $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Pest. He says, look at these two handsome SOBs. Thank you, Pest. But we're having a good conversation, Joe, but I do got to pop you out because I got Bobby Woodruff up next for the members, and then I'm going to post the link for everybody else. But as usual, Joe, good talk. I will be having the members-only panel this Friday. So
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you're going to pop back in, but any member that wants to join that, it's Friday. But yeah, let me get your last thoughts, man.
Man, just like we've been saying here, guys, enjoy it. Break the news. It's okay to have a different opinion, but let's not follow the Twitter fan base and just go off the deep end.
Yeah, Twitter gives me cancer.
Exactly. Think about it a little bit. Then it's like, well, we don't have to get vulgar. We don't make points. Argue with points. People don't like numbers, but it's a valid point. Their receptions, their injury history. And it's great to argue if you want Golladay or if you don't want Golladay. So, man, just thanks for having me on. I appreciate the time to talk football and interact with everybody.
No problem, Joe. The beard will stay. Nobody wants you to cut it again, but have a good one, bro.
All right, bro. Have a good one.
Next up, we got Bobby. Everybody say hi to Bobby.
Hey, you guys doing? I got a haircut, see?
You got a haircut? Hey, you got a fade? Did you get a fade?
What do you mean a fade?
Oh, it's the type of haircut, it looks
like no, she cuts it short. She cuts it short. My girl
nice.
Is hot.
What's up, man?
Yep. Well, I want them to pick up Kenny Golladay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was stupid to pick up Booker.
Booker?
Yes, on the other teams, he was only the third running back.
No, well, he was the second running back in Vegas.
Okay, second running back, but what about Chris Carson? We should have picked him up.
But Chris Carson's a number 1 running back.
Yeah, but how much would he cost if we picked him up?
Like a number 1 running back money, like $14 million.
Oh yeah, that's not good then. All right, we got Booker, and now who else did we just pick up today?
Leonard Williams.
Yeah, no, that was a good move. Mm-hmm. And then the other guy too, we got from the Texans. That was pretty stupid.
Oh yeah, the special teams one.
Yeah, that's
I think that's a Joe Judge signing because it's special teams guy.
Yeah, but what's so good about him? He's not that good.
You'd have to ask Judge, eh?
I think Judge and Kush. Oh, guess who I called up today in the afternoon?
Sure, who?
Do you ever hear the fan?
The what?
Evan and Carton on the fan.
No, is that a radio show?
Yeah, and you never listen to sports in New York?
The only radio show I used to listen to when I had time to was the guy that annoys me so much. I forget him. He covers the Giants. Old guy, glasses, white hair. I'm forgetting his name. He's on WFAN. I'm forgetting his name, but he was the only one I used to listen to. And Boomer and Gio, every now and again, I used to listen to Boomer and Gio too.
Yeah, but remember Boomer had his other guy, Carton, in the morning? He's from Syracuse.
I think let me look him up. You said Carlton?
Yeah, Carlton. Now he's with Evan. Joe Beningo with him. He used to be Evans. Now they're partners.
Okay, yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I called him up this morning. This afternoon. We were good on. My brother talked to him together.
Mm-hmm.
He likes me. Carlton likes me a lot.
So what's up? What did you guys talk about?
We talked about the Giants, and then my brother was talking about the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the Jets did good signing Corey Davis
and Carl Lawson.
Who's that?
Edge rusher from the Bengals. He was one of the edge rushers out on the market.
Oh,
this year.
Yes, that was a good pickup. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't hear that one. Yeah. What else? What's Friday you talking about?
Which what?
What's going to be on your thing on Friday?
So it's a member panel. So it's going to be members only appearing on the channel with me. That's basically it.
Okay, what time does that start?
Let's see. Let me actually check. Friday, I don't have classes. So maybe sometime around like 9 o'clock, maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock.
All right, so what are we going to be talking about?
Whatever you guys want to talk about. I'm sure there's going to be more moves because free agency isn't over yet. So it's just going to be all that,
And how you like the Yankees or the Mets?
I like the Yankees.
Yeah, the Yankees are doing. Hey, guess who they had the other day together on Yes Network?
Who?
Saying the game. Remember John Sterling and Michael Kay?
I know Michael Kay, yeah.
Yeah, and John Sterling, who does the radio.
Yeah?
Yeah, they were two together. They used to tag before, like 20 years ago.
Oh, that's before my time.
Yeah, you're a young man. I'm young. Fart. Remember that. Hey, Joel is a good guy. Isn't Joel a good guy?
Joel's a great guy, and he's an old guy,
and tell Jaden that the other receiver went to, he's talking about killing Golladay and the other guy.
Marvin Jones?
No. The guy, Curtis Samuel, went to Buffalo.
Oh, that was announced?
Yes, he went to Buffalo.
When was that announced? Was that recently? Because I was keeping my eye out for Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, he went to Buffalo. Because I was watching the Sports Fury. Remember the Sports Fury?
Yeah.
Oh, Josh is not happy at all.
He went to Buffalo. I'm not seeing anything on it, though, like online.
Yes, he went to Buffalo. They said he went to Buffalo. Guess who the Bears signed as a quarterback?
Andy Dalton.
Oh, he was not too happy. Josh was not too happy.
I don't think any Bears fan.
No.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't Curtis Samuel that went. That's why I didn't see it. It was Emmanuel Sanders that went to the Bills, not Curtis Samuel.
Oh,
Sanders.
I made him. Oh, I got them. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the guy from Broncos then?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I got the wrong one.
Okay, yeah, that because I did see that. That was earlier today, yeah.
Yeah, oh, so he's a good receiver.
Yeah, he's in his later years. He's going to be a depth guy.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because they lost the tight end they picked up, too. They picked up a tight end.
Well, they're trying to pick up a tight end. I don't know if they did pick up a tight end. They're trying to trade for Zach Ertz.
Oh, really? Zach Ertz? Ooh, really?
Mm-hmm.
But you said somebody else should go to that team, right?
I said that they should take Evan Engram from us.
Yeah, god damn it. We got to get rid of that guy. He sucks.
Like, if there's any team I really want to trade him to, I would be happy trading him to the Bills.
So what will we get for him?
In my opinion, I think we could probably at most get like a third or a fourth. It depends on how teams look at him, because if we know that he has a couple problems catching the ball, then they know that.
Oh, I know. You can see it. We could have won a lot of more games without him dropping the passes.
Mm-hmm.
We could have beat the Eagles easily that game, remember?
Yeah, that was the drive that we were on our way to winning the game.
Yes, and the Bears. We do play the Bears
Mm-hmm.
this year in Chicago again.
Again in Chicago? Like,
Yeah, but
I think the last 2 times we played them was in Chicago.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's always in Chicago. But I
Okay.
think we're gonna beat them this year.
I think we're gonna be a really good team this year. I think we might surprise some people.
If they're gonna have Andy Dalton starting as a quarterback, we're gonna beat them.
100%. Yeah.
Even with Mitch Trubisky too, he's not that good.
Yeah.
So.
And even though they tagged Allen Robinson, he didn't sign the tag yet. So
Josh is not too happy with that either. Oh, he is. You have to see him on his thing tonight. He's on tonight. Talk about free agency.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he was. Oh, you gotta go see that tonight after you finish. It was riot.
Mm-hmm.
He gets mad. At the Chicago Bears and saying, "Oh, if you don't think that's it was funny." I like Josh. He's a good guy. Like you are. You're the best too.
Thank you, man. Where's Seahawks?
Seahawk is sleeping right now.
Oh, okay.
She's a sound asleep. She's 15 years old. She needs her sleep.
She needs her rest.
So who's on next after me?
I got Jaden, then Benny, then Rob, then Harrison Aaron, then Vized.
Who's that little guy who you had on the night before I wanted to come on? That little redhead guy.
That's Benny. He has his own channel. He just hit 100 subscribers.
Oh, congratulations to him. Yeah, you let him on. You didn't let me on that night. I wanted to get him on.
Bobby, it was that night it was a channel, like a channel thing, content creator.
Okay, if I have a Giants, if I do a Giants thing, you let me on?
If you do a Giants what?
Channel.
Yeah, if you got a Giants channel, and you're consistently uploading, Bobby, I'll bring you on content creator panel.
Yeah, I could stop doing my trivia and talk about the Giants. I like that better.
For sure.
So who's Ryan? Who's next? Can I see him before I leave?
Jaden's next.
Can I see him before I leave?
Yeah, sure. Jaden's this right here. There's Jaden.
Oh, I remember him. Yeah, Jaden, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Bobby. How about you?
You ever fix your fire alarm? I think you need a battery for your fire alarm.
Yeah. Everybody be cracking jokes about it.
But I keep on hearing this. Oh, I know. Where you from originally?
I'm from Jersey.
Oh, you're from Jersey. I'm from New York. So he's from Queens and I'm from Queens. Yeah, there it goes. The chipper again. I hear it again.
Yeah.
So, okay, you want me off now? I talk too much?
No, you talk just enough. But let me get your last thoughts, though. Give me your last Giants thoughts before you leave.
All right, so we better sign Golladay. That's what definitely we got to do soon. Sign Golladay.
All right, thank you for coming in, Bobby. Have a good one.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much.
Jaden, what's up, man? What you trying to talk?
Hey, the champ is here. You already know we here to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
We need Kenny Golladay on the Giants. Everyone in the chat, give him the stimulus check. I don't care. You don't need it. Just give it to Golladay.
If the rumors are true, which is that like the fans are valuing him way more than the teams are, then he might come in at a cheaper contract, like maybe like $16 million a year or something than we're expecting.
It will take it. Because I know we got that backup running back from the Broncos. What y'all think about that? Because look, I seen Giants fans go crazy. Just like, no, that's not Kenny Golladay. What we're like. That's not Kenny Golladay. That's not how you spell it.
Where?
Nah, because it was on Instagram. I seen like mad comments of that.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Frosty. It's been a minute for the $2 super chat. Hey man, it's been a while. How you been? I've been good, man. How you doing, Frosty? But yeah, no. How you feel about the Leonard Williams contract, bro?
I feel like it was a good deal because I know in 2022 and 2023 he expected to hit like 20-something million over the cap like 2 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
But I think next year, I think, would you think he'll still be on the team after?
I think that I see no reason for them to cut Leonard Williams after 2 years because it's set up just like the contract of Blake Martinez and the James Bradbury one, where it was a 3-year deal, but like they could get out after 2 if something goes wrong. I don't see anything going wrong though, to be honest with you, at least as of right now. William Jackson signed with the Washington football team, bro. All right.
Wait. y'all got any proof though?
Yeah,
I
I'm
can't
looking at it right
think.
now. 45 seconds ago, Schefter. 28 seconds ago, Rappaport.
Yo, we need Kenny Golladay right now so he could just moss him.
No, I love William Jackson. He's not a corner 2, by the way. William Jackson is technically a corner 1, so that would have been deadly if somehow, some way the Giants got him. You would have 2 cornerback 1s on your team, not a corner 1 and a corner 2. But yeah, this is per Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter, literally less than a minute ago. William Jackson III is signing with the Washington football team.
Hey, yo, Hub.
Mm-hmm.
Watch after this, go to Instagram or Twitter. Giants fans go be like, it's so hard being a Giants fan right now. It's straight depressed mode. Like, are Giants fans ever happy with any move we do?
No. I even saw people. I mean, bro, when I realized that not everybody's gonna be pleased, when we were restructuring Solder's contract to save money, and people still want to cut him, even though we would save less money. That's when I realized it can't please everybody. But I will say there are some fans that have legit criticism, and I respect the fans that have legit criticisms because they got something to back them up. But, then there's fans that just don't like anything.
So, what are we going to do with Pepper's contract?
I don't know, but we better extend him soon. And
because he actually plays a huge part on defense when it comes to safeties. Because his responsibility is over the middle, if I'm wrong or correct. I don't know.
Peppers is our box safety.
Okay.
So, I mean, we need to extend him. I don't even know if it will be this year. Is he on a 5th year? Do we have a 5th year option on Jabril? I don't know if we have a 5th year option on Jabril.
I think we do, because we definitely have one on Engram.
Yeah, we have one on Engram, and I think we got one on Jabril, which means either this, like, within the next couple of weeks or a year from now, we're going to have to extend this man to keep him on here.
Where do you think Wayne Gunn was going to end up exactly?
That's a good question. I mean, I saw him liking when Carl Lawson went to the Jets, so maybe he goes to the Jets. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I think the Patriots won the offseason because they was like getting players like non-stop.
Well, it's easy to do that when you got the 3rd most cap space in the league.
Hey, yo, here's what I want to do. I want to switch the Patriots and Giants cap space. I want to switch that. By the way, we get Kenny Golladay, get Reddick. I wanted Bud Dupree, but he on the Titans, so it's too late for that.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, the Jackson contract is out. It's a 3-year deal, $14 million a year. So once again, like I said, that's a number 1 corner right there. You know what I'm saying? $14 million a year isn't what you'd probably give a number 2, but just his play as well. He's like a number 1 guy, like not like James Bradbury level, obviously, but still a number 1 guy. So that's a really good signing for Washington right there.
Listen, if Kenny Golladay doesn't work out, do you see us getting a corner or a linebacker in the free agency market?
If we don't get Kenny Golladay, I fully expect us to get either like you said, it's going to be either a depth corner or a depth linebacker. I'm not ruling out depth offensive lineman, but I think we're more likely to get an offensive lineman in the draft just because the coaching staff wants to go younger.
I actually have a feeling that if we get Kenny Golladay, I have a feeling we might get Kyle Pitts at number 11. I think that might be the move.
I wouldn't be mad.
Because I think we might trade Engram to the Chargers or any other team like the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Bills fans, please accept this trade. Please. Give us a pick. That's all we need is a pick.
Just give us a 4th.
Just give us the 4th. We'll give you Evan Engram.
And by the way, Edward Chen is letting me know Jackson is going to be their number 2 because their number 1 is Fuller. So they got 2 number 1s. Like I was saying, that's a 2 number 1 secondary. That's a very, very strong secondary for Washington. That's kind of scary. Yeah, go ahead, Jen.
Oh, okay. Listen, if everyone, like I said, give Kenny Golladay your stimulus check, whatever check you got from work or from anywhere, give it to him. Send him. Everybody, we should do a Cash App donation for him to come here.
Do a GoFundMe.
Yeah, everybody donate. If he somehow accepts it, we all win. We could all pop champagnes. We go have a party. Because I know Friday he's going to have members, so I'm not a member. So I'm gonna still show up like I usually do.
I mean, well, tomorrow's Young Guns as well, so maybe by tomorrow we'll see what happens.
Because what you think? What you think of Nate Jr. going to the Bears?
I think it's kind of a dumb signing by the Bears. I don't really got anything else to say about it. I just kind of laughed when I saw it, to be honest. But let me get your last thought because I got a couple people in the waiting room here.
Wait, so who's next? And
Benny's next.
Oh, Benny's next. Oh, shout out to Benny because him and Logan be doing like a little podcast thing. I always check them out.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else is goats in the chat. But listen, I'm the Michael Jordan. Y'all the everybody else's. That's how we doing it.
I'm LeBron then.
Okay, just remember I'm undefeated. I'm 6-0.
Okay, bro.
Anyway, the champ is here. Salute to the hub.
You're have a good one, Jaden.
Salute.
Next up, we got Benny from Football Talk with Benny. Go check him out, guys.
Man?
I'm good.
Oh, by the way, news. It's a 3-year, $42 million deal. The William Jackson signing. So, how's that? Wait, what does that average out to?
Yeah, 14 million. Yeah, I let them know about it.
Yeah, but that was a good signing by them. And we got to get some receivers, obviously, because we want to compete with them. Those two are great cornerbacks. But by the way, Harrison Aaron, he said he had to go to bed soon. So if I'm allowed to, can he come on with me or no?
Oh, Harrison Aaron. Okay, I'm guessing he said that in the private chat.
Yeah, he said that in the private chat. Yeah.
Just because I've never had you on before, bro, I'm gonna need you to flash your camera so I actually see you're a real person before I pop you on. There he is. So, Benny, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Harrison on. I'm going to pop you out. Then I'm going to bring you back in when Harrison's done. All right. Because I did not know he had a curfew. Harrison, how you doing, man? He's a Bucs fan, I'm guessing. Yo. Harrison? If you're speaking, we can't hear you, bro. All right. I'm going to pop Benny back on because I got to keep it moving.
Yeah,
go ahead, Benny.
But that was a good signing by them. And, you know, I'm trying to recap what I was thinking. Oh, I'm happy about the whole, I'm happy about the Leonard Williams signing. And by the way, Harrison, yeah, we couldn't hear you. Check your mic on the settings. Make sure you're on the right one. Sometimes that happens. It switches it on StreamYard.
Go ahead, Benny.
Yeah, but, I like that signing a lot. I liked all the signings so far. I'm hoping we can get Golladay. How much money do you think we have around now?
That's a good question. I saw Edward was telling me that we had maybe around $17 million in cap space. I have no idea if that's updated.
17 million? Wow. How did we get 17 million?
We shall see. Right now, we have... Where's the cap space? Yeah, no, I don't know. We have 7 million right now, according to Spot Rack. So maybe he meant to say 7, but I saw 17 in the Discord.
Yeah. Wow, 17. If that's real, that and then we also still have we haven't cut what's his name yet? Pulley either.
Yeah, we haven't cut Pulley yet.
Like we still have some moves. We haven't really restructured anybody. I don't know if we plan.
Yeah, the Soldier restructure hasn't gone through yet.
But is that 17 million? I doubt that has to be counting the Soldier restructure, estimating where it is. That has to be.
It would be a big estimate.
Yeah, but there's no way we have 17. Like, there's no way, no. But I mean, so technically, are you saying that they estimate us to have 17 million right now?
I just told you what it is on Spot Rack. It's 7 million on Spot Rack.
Okay. That was Spot Rack. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know if that's counting the Soldier or not, but that's great. I'm really happy about that. I think we can get Golladay. I'm worried about the Dolphins though, because they have money. They actually have some serious amount of money, and they can offer him a lot. Although they seem to be worried about him, and I heard they're interested in T.Y. Hilton. So I'm hoping I hope they get T.Y. Hilton or Juju. Because a guy like Golladay honestly doesn't even make that much sense for them.
Shout out to Hakeem for the $5 super chat. He says, watching the Giants Saints game from 2015 on the network, one of my favorite games of all time to watch the Giants Saints. What was the final score at? Like 52-48 or something crazy?
Yeah, that was insane.
He says, why does Odell remind me of Devonta Smith play style? Well, I think you mean the other way around. Devonta reminds you of Odell? That's an interesting. When I watched Devonta play, when I was analyzing him for my mock draft 1, I'll be honest, Odell did not come to mind. But that's an interesting comparison right there, Hakeem.
Yeah, that was a good game. I wasn't watching that live. I wasn't watching that much then, but like that was like a good signing. And did you see yeah, you talked about this earlier. I found it very interesting that we were interested in Hunter Henry. That surprised me a lot.
I think it surprised everybody because everybody was kind of assuming the Giants were just sitting on their hands doing nothing, but behind the scenes they were trying to get something done.
Yeah, I mean if we don't get what's his name? If we don't get Golladay, I think two guys we could go after, or there's a bunch of guys we could go after. We could go after, well, of course we could go after Reddick. I like him a lot. I think we could go after Jayon Brown from the Titans. That guy hasn't been talked about much. He could be a good fit next to Blake Martinez. We could go after a second corner. There's a lot of corners that haven't gone off yet.
Another Titans player. I don't know if Jackson has been signing from the Titans as somebody.
No, he hasn't. That was surprising. How old is he?
Adoree Jackson?
Yeah.
I want to say 26. I could be wrong.
God, why did he get cut?
He's 25. He's 25.
God, I didn't understand that. I thought he was good. Although was he not good? I always thought I thought he was good. Maybe I'm mixing him up with somebody else.
I don't know. Maybe there's something behind the scenes. But I don't know. I wouldn't mind him as our second corner. By the way, shout out to Big Pat in the chat.
Yeah, that was just weird because I think he was still on his rookie contract, right? Like there wouldn't be like they would see that much. I doubt.
That's funny. Adoree came in the same draft as Corey Davis.
Yeah, same Joseph. I didn't get Big Pat's what's it called? I never got his I never got the noti for it, so that's too bad. But yeah, that was surprising. I got that. Like I just didn't expect that to come at all. I would like him. Yeah, there's a lot of corners still not signed. Corners and wide receivers, which happen to be two of our people will consider our main needs. So we kind of got unlucky so far, in my opinion.
Benny, so the last question I'm going to ask you before I pop you out is, would you rather sign Kenny Golladay or would you rather go and get maybe a second corner and a second linebacker?
I would rather Golladay. I just think it's such a big need. We can get those other guys in the draft. We can get Chasseret. Just even naming it, we can get, I don't know, if we get Golladay, we would get Chasseret in the second, and if you're saying a corner, one of the top corners, or we get edge rusher, that I don't even know, or even Pitts. But like, I just think those are way more replaceable. Yeah, I think those are more replaceable. But yeah.
But thank you for calling in, Benny. Guys, go over to Benny's channel, check him out. Have a good one, man.
All right, bye. Thanks.
And real quick before I pop in Harrison Aaron, so Harrison, get ready. I just want to say Washington added William Jackson to the number 2 defense in the league, all to stop Daniel Jones, because Daniel Jones is the only real threat in this conference, guys. Come on now. Of course I'm kidding. So Harrison, are you ready? All right, Harrison, you're ready. How you doing, Harrison?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Are you a Bucs fan?
Yes.
All right. What's up, man?
Nothing much. How do you think the Buccaneers will do this season?
Well, they kind of loaded back up all of the players that they needed to load back up, right? So I think they're going to be just fine. They might pick up right where they left off.
Do you think Mahomes purposely lost the Super Bowl?
That's the weirdest question I've ever been asked. No.
I'm sorry.
No, there's no need to apologize for. I'm just like, I haven't had that asked before.
Oh, okay. I was just asking, do you think Mahomes will be worse next year after that loss to the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl?
I think it depends on if they could replace the tackles that they lost, because the Chiefs' offensive line took a big hit by losing both of their starting tackles, and they haven't replaced them yet. So it depends on that, I would say.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And another quick question is, do you know when Lauren is going to do our stream?
Lauren, you know, maybe I'll try and have her on for like next week, because I'm kind of booked up with collabs this week. But yeah, I work with Lauren almost all the time.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
No problem. Have a good one, Harrison. Thank you for calling in.
You too. Bye.
Next up, we got Mizrahi, who I did not know had a Giants channel before, but I do now. So guys, go over there, check him out. If you could pop your channel name in the chat, go ahead and do that, Mizrahi, and I'm gonna pop him on. I think this is the first time I'm ever speaking to him, so that's pretty cool. What's up, bro? How you doing?
How are you, brothers? Man, it's my first time, talking to you. I like
no problem. How you doing, man?
Not too many guys I listen to, of course, entertainers like the King, and Tim, he's the older. But I like your stuff, and I decided let me call in. Yeah, I had a passionate rant about 10:30 this morning that people saw all over, where I went all out and I dug into the Giants and Gettleman because I'm not gonna lie, I was very disappointed last night and this morning.
A lot of people were waking up to find out that Dalvin Tomlinson was gone.
Yeah, I was. Listen, I expected Tomlinson to be gone. You're going to lose guys when you're trying to get other guys, and we're loaded at defensive tackle. And listen, I'm happy we kept Leo because Leo is a beast. But
you like Leo the Lion.
I like Leo, but what I don't like is that I felt like he was holding us hostage, knowing that we wanted to get other players and that we were up against time, and he knew that, and he was taking advantage. And we resignated this guy's career, and I didn't like that, man, because let me tell you something.
Because Joel said the same thing.
I was big for an edge rusher, and there were a lot of links with, as you know, I said, with Dupree to the Giants. He's best friends with Barkley, and I really wanted him. I think that guy's a serious man. And
then he went to the Titans, I think.
Went to the Titans because, again, listen, I know the rumors came out the Giants were close to getting Henry, and so
Floyd.
It wasn't Leo that held them back. But you know what? I think it was. They wanted to get Leo done, and they do have more than $7 million. The money for soldiers hasn't been attached yet, and I heard that's like a good $8 million, 8.3. So we really have like 15 million, I think, or 16.
Where do you want to go with that money?
Listen, I haven't missed a Giants game since 1986. You're talking about a diehard. I'm 44 years old, okay? And the Giants have given us good times. I love the team. 4 championships, 5 Super Bowl appearances in 33 years, second only to New England, who we have owned. So the thing is this, to get back to where we have to get to, listen, Kenny Golladay, let me tell you something. Kenny Golladay will do for the Giants exactly what Plaxico did for Eli.
How I know you were going to say Plaxico? Because that's what I've been hearing.
Anybody who says no is a hater, and there's not a better team in the NFL that Golladay fits to take a team far in the next 2 years than Golladay for the Giants, because Daniel Jones has a big arm and he's tall downfield. We need the downfield threat with Barkley in the backfield. The Giants are trying to build the Garrett offense, which was the Giants offense in 2006 through 2012 with Bradshaw, Jacobs, and Ward. A big O-line, a lot of power football, and then the play action down the field. And Golladay is the Plexico Burris. And I guarantee you, if we have Golladay, I actually think Engram would become a better player.
TSV, did I not say that literally early in the stream? I said if we could get some legit weapons and Evan Engram is no longer the number 1 target, he's gonna have a lot of mental pressure lifted off himself.
Dude, he's got to work on his hands a little, but I don't even think the hands is the problem. I'm gonna tell you the problem with Engram. A lot of young people don't understand. I coach football. Engram is not a guy that's comfortable going over the middle, knowing that he's going to get popped. So he catches alligator arms, and a lot of his balls go off the hands, and they're picked off. He's a guy who wants to play on the outside. Engram is really a wide receiver, is what we're saying. Use him the right way. And I'll tell you, if we ever got lucky enough to have Kyle Pitts fall to 11, that man is a diamond. That's going to be one historic weapon.
Mizrahi, I'll tell you right now, if we sign Golladay, I think Pitts at 11 is the move if he's there.
If he's there, I don't think he's going to be there because
who do you think? Who do you think swiping him up?
Talented player in the draft after Lawrence.
Who's swiping him up to you?
Who's taking him?
Yeah.
There's no way he gets past Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think he gets past the Eagles.
You know that's a good one because they're looking to move Zach Ertz. I haven't thought about that. They're looking to move Zach Ertz, so that's a good one.
So I don't think Hurts is a real starter, but they're going to try to give him weapons and make him one. You know, so listen, Kyle Pitts is not just a tight end. He is a blocker. People think he can't block, and I'm telling you this, and a lot of young kids don't know this. Kyle Pitts is the best wide receiver in this draft, hands down.
Above Jamar Chase?
Above Jamar Chase. Because he's more of a matchup nightmare everywhere than Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up a guy that you compared Golladay to. Joe Yaddo has told me when he looks or maybe it wasn't Joel. So Joel, if it was, I apologize. But I think it was. He said when he looks at Pitts, he sees Plaxico because of the size.
Well, I'm gonna say Galladay's more of a Plaxico, but Pitts, dude, you know who Pitts reminds me of, and he's way more athletic. A young Shannon Sharp on the Broncos.
Really?
Yes. Now, if you go back and watch Shannon Sharp, part of those 2 Super Bowls, he was an animal, a beast. But this guy is more athletic as, of course, time has evolved. These players have become more athletic.
Mm-hmm.
But he could also, you put him in the red zone, man. He could go one-on-one and fade or slant on anybody.
His size is absolutely, that's a legitimate matchup nightmare.
Matchup nightmare. And if you have him, and I'm not saying we're going to get lucky enough for this to happen, but if you have him on one side and freaking Golladay on the other side, you have Barkley in the backfield to fake a handoff to. You're talking about the best red zone offense in football. There will be no way to stop that, and the offensive line doesn't even have to be the best.
So I'm gonna ask you right now, right? Give me your dream offseason. It sounds like part of that dream offseason here on out is gonna sign Golladay, take Pitts. What do you do at the guard position?
We gotta listen. I was thinking maybe we draft a guard in the second round, or maybe we find a center and you move Nick Gates back to guard. But if you want to keep it the way it is, there's a bunch of guards out there right now. We could have that. Wouldn't cost a fortune. So you go get a guard. And listen, you got to work on it. You keep on working on it. See, I'm not upset at Gettleman. He's tried hard. It's not like he hasn't tried, and he's made a lot of the right moves. People are gonna hate Gettleman.
Tell me this: hasn't Gettleman and I was talking, to people on Discord and on Twitter about this. In my opinion, since 2019, Gettleman has been a really good GM. If you really want to nitpick, you could say since 2020, which is last year. But I think since 2019, he's been a really good GM for us.
Let me tell you, people who hate Gettleman, they're just always going to hate. They want to take their anger out. Like today was the first time I got mad, and it was just passion. But when I got to sit back for an hour, and then the Giants finally made
their moves.
Yeah, because my friend in Florida saw the video, and he calls me up. He goes, I think the Giants saw your video because they signed Leo 35 minutes after you threatened them to.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they did right. It would have been nice if it was one day before. See, my whole video, you go check it out tonight. My whole video was basically on that he was holding us hostage. And how can the Giants, the New York football great Giants, allow a guy to hold them hostage? They should have on Friday gave him a Monday 4 p.m. deadline. And if you don't sign, you're out the door. But now at this point, Thomason's gone. The major edge rushers are gone. Now you got to sign him. You don't have a choice anymore. So he has all the leverage. But you know what? He came through. They gave him a little more than we wanted to, but I like that it was a 3-year deal. We're not locked in long.
Just like last year with Martinez and Bradbury.
Yeah, and Gettleman's gotten smarter with that. Or if you want to say Judge has worked with him and brought him up to the times. And a lot of these guys that get like Ross and the fullback, these are Judge guys. I like that fullback they picked up today. I like that we're going to have a fullback blocking for Barkley. That's smart. Old school football still works, man.
I mean, we had Eli Penny. So do you think he's going to come in and replace Eli Penny, or you think the fullback's going to be a special teams guy?
He's probably a special teams guy. Maybe they'll give him a couple of snaps. Maybe they'll try him out. Listen, if the Giants can get Golladay, listen. Well, let me ask you something. What do you think about Juju? I personally don't think he fits the Giants, but
I'm gonna keep it real, and some people's not gonna like it. I don't want Juju simply because of the off the field stuff. And Steve Smith, the Giants wide receiver, Steve Smith, by the way, he came out today and said that the Giants don't want an alpha wide receiver, and I think he's just a bit salty about the way his tenure with the Giants ended, because he's like, they want somebody that could slot in and fit there. And I don't know if he was referring to Juju or if he's just salty about himself. But the reason I don't want Juju is because I don't think he's going to be a good locker room guy. People hate the word culture, but I really don't think he matches what we're trying to do over here.
No, it matters right now. But a young team, and Gettleman got rid of Odell for that reason and rebuilt the team. So I don't think Juju fits either. But next guy, what do you think about Samuel? And Gettleman drafted him.
I like Curtis Samuel. I would, a lot of people don't like him. I like Curtis Samuel because he's the most versatile guy on the market right now. He plays inside, outside, and backup running back, and he runs a 4-2. So I love him. He's probably going to sign maybe around 12 mil though. And to be honest, if the Giants are going to sign another wide receiver, I think they might go big. If we sign Curtis, then we definitely got to take another wide receiver in the draft is what I'm looking at. He's not my number one guy, but I do like him.
A couple more things, and then I know people are waiting. I don't want to hold you. I appreciate you giving me the time because I'm new and.
Nope. Yo, you've been watching my channel for a minute.
I watch everyone's channels, and then I finally made my own about 2 weeks ago. But I don't make a video every day.
It's okay. Yo, post the name of the channel in the chat so we could check it out.
You just got to look at Svi Mizrahi, my name.
Bet.
So a couple guys put it in there for you. So it's just my name, and I'll pop up on YouTube. Today's video was pretty good, but now I have to go redo it tomorrow because Gettleman kind of fixed stuff. But the best part about making a video for me is showing my passion. And I'm a very passionate Giant fan. I think the Giants are going after Golladay. And I think it's going to be while we're sleeping tonight. But I'm not saying we're grabbing him in the morning. I'm saying they're making a push for him. And if Galladay's smart, and I don't buy that he was injured last year, he didn't want to finish. A lot of players don't want to be in Detroit ever. You see their history. They chased away so many players.
You know what that reminds me of?
There,
if it's true, you know what that reminds me of? If it's true, Odell's last year here. There's been a conspiracy going around that Odell's last year here, he wasn't really injured. He just wanted out.
I mean, he wanted out, and then as soon as he was out, he wanted back in. So you know, sometimes you gotta, the grass ain't green on the other. But the thing is this, and I heard he wants to come back because he's been talking to his brothers Barkley and Shepard every day. I don't know if that's gonna happen.
He's still really good friends with them.
Yeah, he misses New York, but let's say we don't get Golladay, and I think the Giants are gonna pick up one of these receivers because they're strong on giving Jones weapons now. And I'm a believer in Jones. I think Jones is gonna be really good.
Jones is our quarterback,
and the team just sticks to the process. Don't be like other teams, like that other team in town. Don't give up every 3 years. Stick to the process like we always have. But real quick.
Yeah.
I really wanted an edge rusher badly because there are receivers there for us at 11 in the draft. I really wanted an edge rusher. I know the top guys are gone, and I know a lot of you guys are high on Reddick. I'm not. So I don't even know what's out there anymore. I thought we would end up getting a Judon or a Dupree. So I don't know. What are some of the edge rushers that are left? There is one guy on the 49ers. I believe his name is Hyde. Defensive end.
Hyde?
Is that his name? He stepped in for Bosa last year. Had 8.5 sacks as a backup.
Really? Let me look this up.
Look him up. Might have the name wrong, but my friend and I in the gym, we were talking about it. He stepped in for Bosa after Bosa tore up his knee in week 2 or 3, and he had 8.5 sacks and had a monster year on the down low. And he's young and he's a free agent.
Kerry Hyder.
Thank you.
Kerry Hyder.
The guy had a monster year for Bosa.
Is he a free agent?
Yes.
But he's a defensive end. Can he play the 3-4, Ms. Wright? Can he play the 3-4?
Let me tell you something about the 4-3, man. It don't matter. If you can pass rush and you're a football player, you can pass rush because you're a football player. And he's a hungry guy that hasn't had a chance except for last year. So he's hungry. And he put his mark on the field last year.
In 2016, he was with Detroit, and he had 8 sacks with Detroit in 2016, too.
Okay. And you know what? That Niner defensive system is pretty good. But I'm thinking maybe Salah's going to bring him over to the Jets. But, hey, if you call him out, throw him a couple of dollars, you might have found yourself a defensive end on the down low. That's all, man. Listen,
hey, no, Ms. Wright, listen, I love the energy. I would love for you to call in again next week.
What?
My bad. We talked over each other. I was like, I love the energy. I would love for you to call in again next week. I do the call in every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday? What time? Let me know.
Every Tuesday, 9:30 on the dot. Always that.
All right. I coach. I get out of football at like 7:38, so I can manage that. I would like to talk. I like talking with you.
For sure, man. Hey, have a good one, bro.
Good stuff. Tomorrow,
yeah.
Bro, I'm looking forward to your video. Kenny Galladay's a Giant, and this Giants fan, this nation erupts. That's what I want.
I'm telling you, if they do sign him, it's gonna be at midnight, like last year with Blake Martinez.
That's cool. Christmas at midnight, baby.
Have a good one, bro. Man. Yo, that was amazing. I never had Ms. Rai call in before. Dude, I love it, man. Mad passionate. I like it. Very positive, too. And he was speaking facts. Kerry Hyder, that's a good name that I did not know about. I'm going to have to look into that, man. Pretty good. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I see Glow Davis, Connex in here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me get the next caller in on the show. Viz Ed. Viz, how you doing, bro?
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, man. What's up?
Nothing much. I want to talk about that John Ross, Leonard Williams. How you feeling about that John Ross signing?
I'm feeling good about it. It's only a 1 year deal and only 1 million guaranteed. Shout out to Engraven Vids. Guys, go check out Engraven. He's Ravens, but NFL YouTuber as well. He's like, congrats on getting the Leonard deal. And Engraven, once again, you're gonna enjoy Kevin Zeitler for your Ravens, man. But yeah, no, bro. You already know me. I like it. It's low risk, high reward.
Yeah, I like that we got him for cheap money. But Leonard Williams, I'm happy about Leonard Williams. You know, we didn't pay him like 25 million that he was projected to get. We got him for 21 million, and we didn't let him walk. Like that's what we need to do. Like if we let Dalvin walk, we could not let Leo walk. So I'm glad that we got him back for 21 million. Yeah.
No, I'm right there with you, man. I mean, it's like I'm not mad at it. He's only earning 11 mil this year. He really, like, I agree with Mizrahi. I think he was holding us hostage a little bit, but at the end he came through because he's only taking 11 mil. So it's like he worked with the team to give us some flexibility.
Yeah, true that. But so about Kenny Golladay, if I personally think that we gonna sign him for like 15, 16 million. But if we don't sign him, then we gotta go receiver in the draft. But if
I think receiver in the draft was already a got to.
Yeah. But I mean, as you said before, like we could go Kyle Pitts if we get Kenny Golladay. I think that'd be great. Kyle Pitts, Kenny Golladay, that'd be great.
If we go Kenny Golladay, it really opens up the doors for a lot of ways to go with at 11.
Yeah, big facts.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we could go Jalen Waddle, Kenny Golladay. There's a lot of routes that we can take.
We could even go defense. We could go Patrick Surtain if he's there, and literally have 2 number ones patrolling the secondary.
Just like Washington, who they just signed, William Jackson.
Washington really had to go get another number 1 corner because they know Daniel Jones is gonna burn them, bro. Like Daniel Jones owns Washington, man. That's I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. Like he goes off when he plays Washington.
Facts. Like he'll be having his best games against Washington, and he'll be trash for the rest of the season.
This is the channel for Mizrahi, by the way, guys.
Go sub him up. But yeah.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, not Viz. I mean, you already know, man. You the bro, so you just do your thing in the chat, bro. Have a good one, man. Thank you.
All right, see you, bro.
Guys, by the way, Viz does have an edits channel, which is why it's called Viz as Edits. Have you done any players there recently?
Yeah, I did Rashad Bateman and who else I did? Oh, I did Paris Ford, sleeper in the draft, and I'm probably gonna be doing a Jabril Peppers video.
Bet.
Yeah. So all right, bro. Have a good one.
No problem, man. You too. And Jason Allen has a quick question real quick. He says, do I believe that the Giants were serious contenders for Hunter Henry? That one is hard for me to buy. Not a Giants thing to do to spend money on tight end free agents. I mean, why else would the report come out? I'll tell you what, I believe they were a contender for Leonard Floyd, which was part of the same tweet. Hunter Henry, maybe not, because you bring up a good point. But I do think they were a contender for Leonard Floyd, though. You know what I'm saying? Let me get the next person in here. That is Rob from Nerding Out Sports. Rob, how you doing, bro?
What's up, Hub? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. The Knicks just lost, bro.
That's a shame. That's a real shame. Look, man, I'll talk about basketball real quick. That was a great game last night. Despite the funky ending, that was a great
so you know it was a pretty messed up ending then.
It was definitely I don't want to curse. It was
For those of you that don't know, Rob is a Nets fan.
Yes, sir.
So he's not going to outright admit that it was a bad call. But go ahead.
I'll take the W. Anyway, Leonard Williams, I'm happy we got him back. I unfortunately kind of saw us losing Tomlinson because we've done it before with defensive tackles. Hankins, Linval Joseph, going back
Tomlinson is literally Joseph all over again
to
the Vikings.
It's happened before, and I just wasn't surprised. But I'm glad he got paid a decent amount, only for a couple of years, and hopefully he continues to play well. He's so underrated. But it was very important to get that cap hit to only 11. I think that's a brilliant move because everyone was just killing Gettleman earlier in the day. Now this happens. It's kind of like they've calmed down a little bit, but not too much. Giants fans are still going to complain about almost everything because the signing about from Booker, the Booker signing, they were going crazy about that.
I didn't get it. I really don't get it.
I really don't know why.
Bro, they were going crazy that we re-signed our depth for Austin Johnson. I'm like, are you serious? People are complaining about this now?
I mean, they're just looking for. I mean, they complained last year when we got Martinez and Bradbury. So I mean, it's like Joel was saying earlier. You just gotta let these things play out. See how they perform on the field.
I completely agree with you, man.
But man, this Raw, he was bringing some energy, and I don't know if anyone's going to be able to match that. Everything he was saying was just spot on about Golladay. The Plexico Burris comparison.
Oh yeah, I was about to say. You tell me what you think about that. That's the first time somebody said to me on the channel, but I've seen it floating around. People saying that he would be what Plexico was to Eli.
Right, because when we got Plexico back in 2005, it changed the entire dynamic of the offense because we still had Tiki, but back in 2004, all we really had were Amani Toomer, who was a possession receiver, and Ike Hilliard, who was kind of a mixed bag, and Tiki was really the cornerstone of that offense. And then you bring in Plexico to go with Jeremy Shockey and Toomer and Tiki, and all of a sudden things just completely.
So you bring in Golladay to go with Barkley and Engram and Shepard. That's what I'm hearing.
And Slayton, and potentially, if we do go receiver in the draft, there's a chance we can get a guy like Bateman or even if Jalen Waddle's there. Can't forget John Ross, which is a nothing signing because it costs us nothing. It's a low risk move that could have a ton of reward, even if he's just a fourth receiver, guy to the special teams, returns, kicks, whatever. We have some depth now, but now if we can get Golladay, I think Gettleman has checked off all of his boxes early on. He got Leo back, he got some depth, and he gets some weapons for DJ, and there's still the draft to add on to this roster. I really like what they're doing so far.
And Rob saw I tweeted a gift from Death Note jokingly, but it's like going that way. I'm like, Dave Gettleman is out here re-signing Leonard Williams, restructuring Solder to help us out, possibly signing Golladay, signing depth, and he still has the draft yet to go to get not only depth players but also a couple of starters. Like, it's amazing to me.
Right. I think we just need patience, man. Just the fans need patience. We know we're in a rebuilding phase, and I know last year gave us some hope because we should have won the division in some cases. It's a big if Evan Engram makes that catch, you win the division, who knows what happens. But we know that we should be better next year. We got our coach, we got our coaching staff. We seem to have our quarterback. The offensive line should be better. We'll have Saquon back. A lot of good things going into the future, but we also need to be patient because these things just don't happen overnight. We got to let this roster develop, and we got to add on the right pieces. You can't just go out there and spending money that the Giants didn't have. They had to create cap space for a reason, and now they're trying to do whatever they can with it, knowing that we're going to have a ton next year.
Joseph brings up a good point. He says, I've been patient since 2011. Joseph, you're right. We really have been, but we're talking about this specific rebuild, right? It's only been happening for like 2 years. That's still a long time, but it's only been 2 years, in my opinion. 2019 was really when the rebuild started.
Yeah, because they unfortunately tried to win in Gettleman's first year, and they admitted their mistake, even though it seemed like everyone else but them knew it was the wrong move. To try to remain a winning team and try to get as much as you could out of Eli towards the end of his career, which they just didn't, or Reese didn't really do, but Gettleman tried, but just didn't work out. And they admitted their mistake, and they kind of went to that rebuild. But now we have a real shot to see it develop into something, and not just for a 1 year thing, develop into being a contender year after year after year, which is what we were in those early Coughlin years.
I'll say this. People say Jerry Reese built the first Super Bowl team, but we all knew who really built it, Jim, before. And I made this comparison a year ago. And I was like, what if in some crazy world, Gettleman actually works out and he does build a Super Bowl team, but when we make the Super Bowl, he's not here. And I'm like, it's literally going to be a repeat of what happened the last time. That's kind of crazy to think, but what do you think about that?
I mean, to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if we make the playoffs this year and Gettleman maybe retires from the GM role and moves into like a different role in the organization. Someone takes over, has a really good draft, which is what Jerry Reese did. He had a really good draft in 2007 and we won the Super Bowl. So it would not surprise me if that were to happen again. And Gettleman's not going to get his credit because then people are going to say, well, it took Gettleman leaving for us to win. But they're going to forget that he literally has built this team. I think we have 2 players remaining that were drafted or signed by Jerry Reese.
Yeah, Shepard and Engram. That's it.
Yeah, because now that Tomlinson's gone. So it's just he has built this team. And if we have a winning record this year, he's got to get his props. And I know a lot of it's going to go to Judge because he's the coach and the players, but Gettleman brought these guys in. I'm not the biggest Gettleman fan, but I'll give him his props. He's the last 2 years specifically.
19 and 20.
Right. He's really hit the nail on the head in free agency and in the draft.
Jake got a good question here. He says, what are your opinions on today's move? In my personal opinion, I think both the Ross and getting back Williams and saving cap was a good idea. Now we could go out there and get Golladay or Juju. I don't want Juju, but yeah, I agree with everything else you said, Jake.
Yeah. I would think that, I don't know if Curtis Samuel it seems like a lot of people are linking him to Washington now that they got their corner.
And I'll tell you what, Washington is making good moves. Like they got Fitzpatrick, which some people made fun of, but I'm like, you know what? That's a good signing. That's a good interim quarterback. They just got Jackson. If they go out there and get Samuel to pair up with Terry McLaurin, Washington's making moves. It's legit competition in the East.
Right. So I mean, I would like Curtis Samuel, but if it's an option between him and Golladay, you have to go
Golladay.
Yeah, you have to go Golladay. And I didn't even think we had a chance, to be honest. Like going into the offseason, I'm like, we're not getting this guy. We're gonna probably sign a cheaper guy.
Neither did I, bro.
Right. And just go into the draft and get one.
Then it's almost like it happened out of nowhere. Because day one, he was so heavily linked to the Giants by everybody. I was like, it might happen. Day 2, we actually have the money now, and it's like, it might happen.
Yeah, it almost feels like if you're playing Madden and you just free up cap space like in the blink of an eye. It's like, I'm gonna go get this guy. And it's weird. It's still a question mark if it happens or not. But man, it would be nice to know that we got that big name receiver, and then that means Gettleman did what he said he was going to do, which was get Daniel Jones some playmakers, and he can still do that even more in the draft. So it's definitely exciting to know that we have that opportunity right now. Now, will they do it? It still remains to be seen.
And once again, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Benny, which was, would you rather go and get Golladay, or would you rather get the receiver in the draft and use this freed up money to get a backup, or not a backup, a second corner and a guard, or like a second linebacker and a guard? Which one would you rather go?
That's a really good question, because there's been some good veteran corners just been cut recently. There's a couple of guys out there. Adoree Jackson, is that the guy from Tennessee, right? He was just cut. Casey Hayward was just cut. Malcolm Butler. There are some guys out there that they could bring in as the cornerback.
Wait. Who's spreading this cap? Do they forget that James Bradbury exists? Like, this isn't even Giants bias. Is Engraven Vid still in here? We have a non-Giants fan in here. James Bradbury is the best corner in the division. Stop the cap. The cap. All right. I don't know who's spreading this cap. James Bradbury is the best corner in this division. All right. If William Jackson was a target for us, and if he came here, he would have been corner number 2. That's all you need to know, bro. But go ahead, Rob. I'm sorry. I just saw the cap. I had to address it.
No, it's fine. It's good to see that we're getting the rivalry started early, though. Not even draft time yet. But what was the question? What was I saying? You threw me off of that one.
I'm sorry.
You're good. Oh, right. I remember the question now. So, if we were to sign a veteran corner, I'm going to be honest. I think I would take Golladay, because he's just such an interesting weapon, and we can use the first couple of picks in the draft. Because I think if we get Golladay, we're not going offense in the first round. So I think they'll use that first round and maybe even that second round pick to go corner and edge in some order, maybe even inside linebacker. So there's a lot of options. I think defensively is where you'll see the depth of those positions, because free agency outside of cornerback too, there isn't really a lot of big names out there at the edge and in the middle, aside from maybe Hassan Reddick, who, aside from the game against us, he was decent last year.
No, I agree with you. I mean, like, I hear where you're coming from with Hassan Reddick and whatnot, and you bring up good points about both ways that you could go. But I really want to know, which way would you prefer to go?
Oh, prefer to go.
Yeah.
I'll prefer to go Golladay because just the idea of seeing that guy, and I was able to fortunately see all of Plexico Burris' years with us and remember them pretty vividly. So, and he does remind me of that big target. So I prefer they go Golladay and use the draft picks to finish off that defense.
Okay, then. That's a pretty good one. I mean, so far everybody has chosen the Golladay route, to be honest. But you know what? I get it. He's a proven guy that's gonna come in and be the number one automatically, man. But yeah, I'm about to get you out here real quick. Shout out to TD in the chat, Michael R, Carlos Sanchez, and Carlos says, "Are you telling me that if we sign Golladay and if Smith or Pitts are on the board, I'm not gonna take either one? Come on now, that's cap if you don't." No, I've said that if we sign Golladay, I'm still going a weapon at 11. I think I've said that. Like, I've even said that in my video today.
I think I may have said that. I think I said that if they do that, if they sign Golladay, they might not go offense in the first round. But I still wouldn't mind. I honestly, if we got Kyle Pitts and kept Evan Engram, I wouldn't be opposed to that. That's just another weapon.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like I've said today, some people might call it overkill. I call it just enough kill because our receiving was just really bad this season. But yeah, Rob, let me get your last thought and I'm pop you on, man.
Subscribe to the hub. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Your videos are great. Your edits are on, top notch on Giants YouTube, man. And I'll be sure to tune in tomorrow for the Young Guns. Thanks for having me on, man.
No problem, Rob. Have a good one. I hope your Nets lose, bro.
Man, go Brooklyn.
Shout out to Rob. Next up, we got Pat from Welcome to Big Pat Sports Talk. How you doing, Pat?
Yo, what's good? What's good?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Cool. Shout out to the guy that looks like Bad Dog's older brother that came in, man. That dude was
Mizrahi.
Got a new sub for me, man. He said everything I've been saying. Kenny Golladay can be a Plexico Burris for Daniel Jones. Just hope that he stays healthy. Same thing with Saquon. If we get Kenny Golladay, Saquon, Daniel Jones, Shepard, Ross, Pettis, receiver might be a strong point for us this year. And it was the absolute weakest for us last year. But the Leonard Williams signing, Giants Twitter, I don't know what you're complaining about. That was a great contract. The guy
were they actually complaining about it?
Yeah, the guy wanted 23 to 25 million.
Before you even continue, they've literally, this is not an exaggeration, not a joke. They've literally complained about everything we did. They complained about Devonta Booker. They complained about the fullback. They complained about Leonard Williams, and they complained about John Ross.
How can you complain about bringing Austin Johnson back for like $1.5 million? We lost Dalvin Tomlinson.
I don't know, man.
We're losing Wayne Gallman. Devonta Booker is just a faster version of Wayne Gallman, and we only got it for 2.5.
And in my opinion, a bit stronger too.
Yeah, he's stronger as well. And a lot of people don't realize how much of a brilliant move Dave Gettleman made by restructuring Nate Solder. Not only do we get to keep Nate Solder and still get that cap money that we would have got if we would have released him, now we don't have to go out and get a swing tackle.
Yeah, we get more than the cap money we would have got if we released him.
How much did we get back?
It's not released yet, but that's the only reason they restructured him, because we were going to get 6 if we released him. That means we're getting more than 6.
At least at the very least 6. But with him restructuring, either we got a starter or we got a veteran swing tackle.
I think it's going to be a vet swing, and I'm not mad about it.
I'm not mad about it either. So that actually helped us. Now we don't have to draft another tackle. Now we can focus on like offensive guard. And
like that's exactly what I'm saying, Pat. I'm like, honestly, Wyatt Davis in the second round, bro. For real.
Yeah, Wyatt Davis in the second round. Now, I like the question that you gave. I just forgot his name. The guy right before you.
Rob?
Right for me. Yeah, Rob. Which one route would I rather go? I really don't know.
Because they're both really good. I mean, so far, I've asked almost everybody that's been on here, and everyone's chosen the Golladay route.
I'll tell you what happens with both scenarios. Let's say first that we get Kenny G. That means we got Golladay. That means we got Slayton. That means we got Ross. We got Shepard, and we got Pettis. And CJ Board, he's just to fill the Cody Core spot. That's why they re-signed him. The first round, we could do pretty much whatever we want to do in the first round.
Literally, yeah, like it opens every single door in the first round.
We could go Michael Parsons. We could go Kyle Pitts. We can go
Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, we could go Waddle if he's there. We could go Slater if he's there. And it gives us a better option to trade back because
Surtain.
yeah, we go Surtain or Caleb Farley. Say if none of those guys are there, we can trade back. And the Bears will be one of the first teams to trade up if there's a quarterback available that they like. Because they
Would you trade all the way back to 20 though?
Yeah, because we got Kenny G.
Yo, you know what just popped in my mind, bro? Oh my God, we signed Kenny Golladay. If we trade back to 20 with the Bears, Azeez Ojulari at 20,
Right.
bro.
That's what I was going to tell you.
Oh, Jesus.
Ojulari.
That would be amazing.
Quiddy pay anybody that you want to
That
get.
would be amazing.
And guess what? We may get a second rounder because you're jumping up from 20 to 11. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We may either get an extra first rounder next year or we may get a second rounder this year. And guess what? With Kenny G, that second round, if you got 2 second round picks, Wyatt Davis is there with your first pick.
Wyatt Davis is there with one, bro.
Your second pick, you get Chaz Serrata, anybody like that.
Yeah, I was like, get Chaz or get Ifitu Melifonwu out of Syracuse, the cornerback.
Or if you want to double dip on receiver, there'll be a Nico Collins. He could have 2 monsters out there. You could have Kenny G and Nico Collins out there.
This is literally the dream scenario now, though. That's the dream scenario.
Yeah, that's what Kenny G brings up. That's what he brings you if you're able to bring him in. You're able to do whatever you want in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do believe there's only 3 teams involved in this whole ordeal, and that's why he hasn't signed yet. I believe the Ravens are offering him the most money. I believe the Dolphins are offering him the second most money. But I don't think he wants to play for the Dolphins because he's not going to be the alpha. He's not going to be the main receiver there. They still got Parker and Preston Williams there. I believe we offer him the best playing type. He knows he's going to be the number 1 receiver, and he knows we're going to build the offense around him. With the Ravens, I don't believe he likes the way they're going to run it over there. Because if he goes over there, his numbers are not going to be like it would if he went to us. So I believe he's going to choose the money with the Ravens, or he's going to choose us and be the number 1 receiver that he wants to be. I believe Gettleman and Joe Judge are really giving him a good pitch or whatever they're doing. But it's going to come down to if he wants the more money, because I believe the Ravens will give him 18 to 19 million a year because they need a number 1 receiver. And I believe they've been fighting each other. I believe he's going to sign pretty soon. Hopefully it's us. If it's not, I won't be sad.
Shout out. Oh, real quick, I just want to get the shout out to Michael R for the $2 super chat. He says the Patriots center, David Andrews, is hitting free agency. Is he going to cost money? He's definitely going to cost money because he's a starting center. He's a good center, so he's going to cost a lot of money. Well, not a lot, but he's going to cost a good amount. And the reason he's leaving the Patriots is because they didn't offer him what he wanted. So keep that in mind. But he's a good center. I don't know if he's going to be necessarily an option for the Giants, though. Yeah, go ahead there, Pat.
All right. Now, if we don't sign Kenny G, the next scenario is pretty good as well. Let's say we don't sign Kenny G with the restructuring and everything. I think we have close to about 20 million.
Mm-hmm.
We get an edge rusher. I got a video on that out now. I want Van Noy over Hassan Reddick all day, every day, twice on Sunday. Hassan Reddick got all his stats on us. All his sacks and everything came against us in one game. He got 5 of them in one game.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Van Noy is a better player. He's a better fit for our defense, and he knows our defense, and he knows Joe Judge. He already knows what he's going to do when he get here, and you know what you get from Van Noy.
He is older, though.
Yeah, he's 29, so he's not ancient.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you're getting from Van Noy. Hassan Reddick's the unknown. Even though I think he's a good player, I don't think he'll fit us as good as Van Noy would.
Real quick, this is a good question because I actually love Casey Crater. He's one of the best long snappers in the league. Grand Slam Gano had the best year of his career with us because partly Casey Crater, great long snapper. We need to re-sign him.
I thought we did re-sign him already, but
I guess we didn't.
That'd be a huge loss. We'll get him back.
I loved him when we signed him last year because he was a Pro Bowler with the Broncos as a long snapper, so he's really good. But yeah, go ahead there, Pat.
So if we don't get Golladay, we could get an edge and a cornerback with that money.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say we get a Dory Jackson.
So we get Van Noy, Adoree Jackson, 2 really good signings. What do we do in the draft now? I'm assuming receiver at 11.
Yeah, I go Bateman at 11. Bateman and Waddle at 11. If we don't get Kenny Galladay.
Who you going in the second?
Second round, I'm trying to get I'm going. You gotta go Wyatt. Second round.
Gotta go Wyatt.
Go Wyatt. I don't know no matter what scenario it is.
And where do you go in the third? Do you still go for a linebacker, or because Van Noy rotates? Do you not go for a linebacker, middle linebacker? That is.
I don't believe there's going to be a good enough middle linebacker in the third round.
I'm keeping my guy. Keep an eye on my guy Cam McGrone, but don't be surprised if Surratt slips because he's being mocked out of the way.
I believe he's gone before then.
Really, you think he's moved up that much?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Then in the third round, see if we get that, man. We don't have many positions of need because we got a corner, we got an edge. There's not going to be a defensive lineman available in the third round that I would like. There's not going to be a linebacker that I would like. I don't know.
Good question, Connex. I don't know, but maybe soon we're going to cut Pulley because there's no reason to cut it. There's no reason to keep him.
Yeah, right. We got to.
I don't see a reason why we keep him. And then TD with another I'm liking the special teams questions. He says, "Do you think we're rolling with Riley Dixon? If so, restructure. If we cut, that's a pretty penny we get back in return. He is earning a bit much considering he's a punter.
$3 million.
But I don't mind rolling with him because he's been a good punter. But I would like a restructure a little bit. $3 million for a punter is a little bit up there."
Somebody said Tamori and Terry in the third round. I'm thinking that too, but I believe that would be a reach because they have his value so low. So I know I could get him in the fourth round or the fifth round. But if they like him as much as I like him, Tamori and Terry in the third. Can you imagine?
At that point, Pat, I can't believe I'm saying there's too many receivers, man. Like at that point, come on.
No, because you have a preseason. Pettis or somebody's got to go. You signed John Ross for what, 1.5 million?
1 million guaranteed.
Yeah, and Pettis, you cut him, you don't get anything for him. And then I tell you another thing. If Slayton doesn't step up this year and we get a number one receiver, don't be surprised if he gets benched.
I mean, Slayton's a good number two. I mean, he'll be the number 3 when we get another number 1 because Shepard's above him. But yeah,
he'll be on that outside though because we're gonna put Shepard in the slot.
Yeah, there's no reason you should put Slayton in the slot.
But if he doesn't step up at number 2, I don't know what to say for him, man. It's gonna be hard for him out here.
I mean, but once again, Pat, he's gonna be the number 3. I get what you're saying, number 2 on the outside.
Yeah.
But yeah. And real quick, Frankie says, "Who do I want as our backup and how much?" Just run it back with Colt McCoy.
Right. Why would you get anybody?
Run it back with Colt McCoy. He was good.
Hey, he got us a win against the Seahawks, man. He's a legend.
And he's also good off the field. I keep saying in the offseason, he helped set up workouts down in Texas, during the whole COVID thing. He helped do that.
Yeah. And no to Juju, man. Before hell no. Do you guys seen how he's played the past 2 years without Antonio Brown? I told everybody that, man, that dude was getting all that because Antonio Brown was there. The coverage Antonio Brown brings? Soon as that coverage left, guess what? He turned into what I thought he was, a slot receiver. And he's going to be a receiver that's always going to get overpaid in the league. Because of that 1 or 2 good years he had because Antonio Brown was on the other side. He's always going to be one of those players that you all have to overpay for what he's worth. He's a slot receiver. He's a glorified Shepard. If you take Shepard off this team and put Juju there, he's going to do the same thing. He's just a little bit stronger. That's it.
I'm sorry. I just saw another Washington football team tweet. They're like, the Washington has the best wide receiver and cornerback in the NFC East. 2 things.
First of all,
the best wide receiver is in Dallas.
Right.
The best corner is in New York.
Right. Shit, McLaurin might be the 3rd best receiver in Dallas.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Yo, Washington fans, bro. They come out, bro. They just come out of the woodwork.
And then if we get Kenny Galladay, he is the 3rd best receiver at best.
Oh my God.
The best cornerback is he's all pro. What you mean?
This Washington. I'm sorry I had to interrupt you all again, but when I see the cap, I gotta address the cap, bro. This makes no type of sense. But yeah, let me get this question. Ang Sam said a report came out that the Giants are in on a wideout, but not Kenny, but over the Ross. Okay, not Kenny, but better than Ross. So he's thinking it's Juju or Curtis.
It's got to be
Please.
Curtis Samuel.
I would prefer if it's Curtis.
Please don't do it. If it's Curtis Samuel, it can't be over $12 million.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see giving him $12 million, not giving Kenny Galladay 16 or 17.
How much did Corey Davis go for? Because that's literally what I think.
Went for $13 million, I believe. 3 years, $39 million.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to be lower tier than Corey Davis.
He's gonna be right around there, so he should be like 11, 12.
Yeah. If we sign Juju for 14 to 15 or 16 million, man, that mess up my whole free agency right there. Because I know what's gonna happen.
I don't want the Corvette, man.
Right. I know what's gonna happen if he comes here, man. He's gonna do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna get about 700 to 800 yards, and it's not gonna mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
He lost his number one job to Claypool's rookie season. Why do you think he's on the market? Pittsburgh knows what they're doing. Those people trade in and out receivers like water. They draft incredibly over there at Pittsburgh. And when they got Claypool, I was like, Juju gone. I already knew it. Juju was going to have one last year to prove that he could be the number one, and he couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we bring him over here, that's a waste of money. I don't want Juju. I'd rather take Samuel because at least Samuel could play running back. He could play the slot. He could play outside. He could do whatever you want him to do.
Guys, we got over 100 people watching here, and we're only at 69 likes. Nice, but get the likes up, man. Get the likes up.
And let's get the likes up for the channel, man. Support my boy Hub, man.
Yeah, and Pat, let me get your last thought before I pop you out here, bro.
Last thought. Either scenario is good, Giants fans. If we don't get Kenny Galladay, it's not the end of the freaking world. I will want Kenny Galladay because I do believe he could be like a Plaxico. But y'all got to watch film on Plaxico, man. Plaxico was an absolute monster. Only thing that stopped him was him shooting his damn self.
The only thing that stopped us from getting that third chip, basically.
Right. Because we was, 12-0 before that happened?
Yeah, I think we finished the year 14-2. I could be wrong.
13-3 or 14-2 was one of them.
And then we get eliminated our first playoff match.
Because by the Eagles of all teams, man.
Yeah.
I hated that so bad because we was throwing it to Dominic Hickson. Oh
my God. Anyway, bro, thank you for calling in, Pat. Always love talking to you, man. Guys, check out Welcome to Big Pat Sports Talk. Have a good one, bro.
All right, have a good one, man. Thank you for letting me tune in, bro.
No problem. Next up, we got Kashif B up here. Let me pop him in. What's up, man? How you doing? Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Kashif, yeah.
Kashif, what up, man? How you doing, Kashif?
What's going on, man? I've been a fan for a while. Been meaning to come on, just haven't gotten around to it. But good to be on, man. How you been?
I'm good, man. How are you? How you feeling with the Giants right now?
Liking it, dude. I was scared about Williams like everyone else, but I mean, looking good now. So what was it? So how do you like? Do you think your approach to the draft has changed for now, or
it
like
really
based on the?
It depends on what else happens in free agency, right? Like that's
Golladay, I guess. It's all
yeah.
at this point, right?
Exactly. That's
so. Like,
that's
if we sign,
all depends on.
So like, let's say we sign Golladay.
If we sign
Golladay, what are you looking at?
If we sign Golladay, it makes me consider going defense in the first round because we don't necessarily need to go wide receiver. I wouldn't mind going to wide receiver again.
Yeah.
I don't mind getting two great guys, but I'm definitely heavily considering going defense. I'm trying my best to get a trade partner to trade back. Like wide receiver just isn't a need anymore at 11.
Definitely, yeah. I think other than unless like Chase happens to follow there, there's just not going to be the value there, and we have way too many holes right now. Wow.
How'd you like the Williams
for
contract?
right now? Like, I think it was perfectly structured, not perfectly structured, but as good as we could have asked for at this point. Like knowing what he was demanding. Like at the end of the day, you got to know your place. You're not Aaron Donald, but I think he got his payday. We got our flexibility, everything that worked out.
Mm-hmm. See you later, Mike. Thank you for tuning in, man. And then what do you think about John Ross, low risk, high reward? Some people didn't really like it.
I don't get. I did not get why people are complaining about that. It seemed pretty reasonable. It's basically a 1-year flyer. It costs pretty much nothing. I think it's the same thing. If he has to stay healthy, but if he can stay healthy, worst comes worst, it's a 1-year flyer. Doesn't mean anything. Best case scenario, you got DJ and other weapons. So I think that was a good signing.
Yeah.
Who
And
else?
is there anybody you're looking other than Golladay to target in free agency?
Yeah, one thing I was like, what price range do you think Reddick is gonna go in? Because I think we possibly could get like Reddick and Samuel for the same price as Golladay, right? So do you think it will be about the same, right? Samuel and Reddick both?
Nah, it's gonna be
Maybe
more.
A little more.
Because let's say Golladay signs for like $18 to $19 million. Reddick is signing for like at least 10, 11, and Curtis Samuel is signing for like 12. So that's a combined of like 23, 24 million.
That makes sense, yeah. So yeah, probably both of them not, but I could totally go with Samuel for like 10 to 12 million. I think that's like a perfect like mid like thing. So like, because if we get Samuel at 10 to 12 million, we can go so many different routes in the draft. Like, it's enough of an immediate upgrade that like we wouldn't have to force like a wide receiver pick at 11. At the same time, it wouldn't be like Golladay where we spend so much money, so like we wouldn't draft another wide receiver. So I think Samuel for 10 to 12 million, that seems like a fair deal. That would be a good deal.
Samuel for 10 to 10. I would love it if he comes in for 10 million. That would be a dream for me.
Yeah, that's probably I'd say more towards a 12 range, but yeah, 10 to 12.
Mm-hmm. What else? What do you think about for the draft?
I mean, I don't really follow the draft as closely, but I mean, right now, like if we sign Golladay, I'd say probably like Surtain, Farley, and has there come any news about like Parsons and like all the allegations? Because like, I mean, if they're not true, then like I could totally go for him at 11, but. At the same time, like, do you want like that kind of stuff with like Joe Judge, like the culture we're trying to build? If it's true, I mean, I hope they're not, but
well, if it's true, there's no chance that I see the Giants drafting him. If it's not true, it's still gonna be it's still gonna be difficult for me seeing them draft him. But we gotta remember we do have Sean Spence, who was a coach over at Penn State before he was with the Giants. So, I mean, he definitely has some connections to Parsons and connections at Penn State right now. So, I mean, you know what? If anything, it depends on how the coaches evaluate it. But if it's not true, I wouldn't mind having Micah Parsons.
Definitely, man. What else? Also, I'm a Nets fan. I'm not liking your talk about possible Knicks getting upsetting us. Not liking it.
Listen, you guys
Stephen A. actually mentioned it.
You guys had to have the refs help you out to win against us, bro. That's all I need to say.
He traveled. It was a travel.
Yeah, and it was a block. Kyrie blocked the shot. That's all I'm going to say. All right, you guys are a super team. We're not.
You could have had him if you guys actually,
Nah, it's all good fun, man. Let me get your last thought before I pop you out.
Yeah, not gonna lie. I'm like, totally, man. I think a lot of people already covered like what most people already mentioned. Most of what I want to say. Definitely keep up the content. Definitely looking forward to like your mocks once all the free agency and everything happens. And so, my first time on, I don't know, I'm like stuttering a little bit, but definitely hope to be on again sometime soon, man. Loving your content.
No problem, bro. Thank you for tuning in. There was a little bit of a lag as well, but I hope you call back in, man. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Alex from Big Blue in the Bronx. What up, Alex? How you doing, man?
See, I wanted to come up here in a good note talking about the Williams thing. By the way, Washington football fans, did you guys forget about Kendall Fuller?
Yeah, I'm like, is Kendall Fuller, isn't he better than Jackson?
Yeah,
I don't know. Even if he isn't, all right, Bradbury's the best corner in the East. All right, let's stop it.
Yeah. So I wanted to come in here on a good note and be a little happy, but that group chat, Kush knows what I'm talking about. I'm in this group chat with the website I host. Me and the guy who also is a Giants fan are having an argument right now. Because
Really?
he thinks that Dallas has done better than us this offseason.
What has Dallas done?
Exactly. I'm like, besides Dalvin, how are we worse than Dallas? He goes, oh, they signed Dak to an extension. Their injured players are coming back. Jalen Smith's going to be good. Leighton Vander Esch. I'm like, we have to remember that they were like, what, 1-5 before, 0-4, 1-3, whatever, before Dak went down. So I really don't get his argument. He's like, oh, they got a top offense. I'm like, yeah, but in the big games, they won't win the shootouts. Oh, he's like, they'll win the shootouts in the regular season. Yeah, but they're going to get beat 2 times a year with the Washington defense.
Mm-hmm.
So it just doesn't make a lot of sense. I just feel that that's just a brainless argument.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody, even any Dallas fans, come to me and say we've had a better offseason than you when all they've done is re-sign Dak.
They've re-signed, and they're going to be in cap hell for the next couple of years. I'm losing brain cells at this point. You said that Giants Twitter is giving you cancer. I'm losing brain cells and getting like mental aids or something from this group chat.
Bro, you need to take a break from it. Let's steer it back. You say you want to come on with a happy note. Go back to the happy place with Leonard Williams.
I'll try going back to the happy place. I muted the chat anyway. But anyway, I'm going to put my phone down. I'm going to lay it down so I don't see the screen or anything.
Updates?
What, Luca?
Can I give you updates?
No, don't give me updates on the chat. I don't want to hear it. He was clowning Giants Twitter earlier today. It was around 3 o'clock, and he was, clowning Giants fans right now. Or at the time, he was like, "Oh, Giants fans, how do you feel about the Leonard Williams thing?" Half hour later, he gets signed to an extension. I said,
Alex,
"Can
that
you
wasn't
eat
the subject of my argument?
Yes, it was. Stop talking. You would have no grounds to go on Giants Twitter like that unless it had to be Leonard
No,
Williams.
it was just all Alex. The only reason I did that is the unreasonable reactions from Giants fans. That's all.
Shout out to Talking Giants in the chat, Justin Pennick and Bobby Skinner over there, guys. If you guys don't know them, I think everybody knows them. Go over there, check them out. Great guys.
Anyway, Giants fan base. That's why I love our Discord channel, or at least the one you host, because nobody's, we disagree, but nobody's just like Giants Twitter. And I feel like this group chat that I'm in, they're more irrational than Giants Twitter because some of the stuff that they come out of there. Anyway, they did so many good things with this Leonard Williams deal. And for a lot of Giant fans who are actually weary about Gettleman retiring,
Bobby,
how does it not give you confidence that if Gettleman retires, Kevin Abrams could step in and be the general manager? I mean, the Logan Ryan extension, if you think it's good, and then this extension, only $11 million on the cap this year. I think it's just definitely a good thing. And what was I going to say? I did a mock ideal offseason for the Giants. That was the podcast episode that came out today. And what was I going to say? I actually was off by $3 million with the extension of Leonard Williams. He got paid 63. He got paid 63 over 3 years. I had 60 over 3 years. So it was just a tidbit.
Alex, future GM of the Giants. That's not bad. So you were basically saying just $20 million a year.
And I had $17 million the first year, 20 the second year, the third year, $23 million. So I'm like, they're not going to really get to that third year. They'll just try to restructure or something like that. Luca, just hold that off for a second, because I don't want to really be thinking about that group chat. Anyway, Dalvin Tomlinson, he walked. Giants fans knew that was going to happen. In terms of that, we have the depth to replace him. I'm not really scared about it. Sure, Dalvin did the dirty work on the defensive line. But at the same time, and there's obviously the rumors that come out, they could have given him up to the Packers. But at the same time, the Giants fan base would have torched MetLife Stadium if, that really happened. And plus, when you're building or trying to build a culture, that's not what you do with the captain on the team. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, just see what the Giants fans were looking like when we traded Snacks Harrison for a 5th-round pick. I mean, a lot of Giants fans were angry at that. As far as Austin Johnson and Devonta Booker, and obviously the group chat was complaining about that, Devonta Booker, and I see a lot of beat reporters, saying, the Giants could have taken somebody in the 6th round. What if one of their flaws, and you're taking a guy in the 6th round, what if one of their flaws is pass protection, and you have Saquon Barkley? Your quarterback is screwed on 3rd down in pass protection. So that way, Devonta Booker, and you know what? I don't really get this overreaction thing of, $3 million a year for both Austin and Johnson. You don't look at the contract details, A, and B, what
it's literally like a one for at least on Booker. It's literally a 1 year, like $2.5 million deal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And $6 million. What are you going to go and get with that? Even if you don't sign both of them. It's I just can't deal. And obviously Austin Johnson, he could seem worth it. He could not seem worth it. I'm just happy with it. And I think the reasonable way, if you want to be mad about it, is that trying to go after Luca. Just hold on one second. I apologize. Anyway, the way I would go about it is just try to go to the top tier guys first, and then second go to the depth guys. But obviously, going to both is not a problem for me. As far as Kenny Golladay goes, and then I'll let you get your thoughts in. Kenny Golladay or bust. A lot of people are saying Kenny Golladay. I want to sign him, but at the same time, we could get Curtis Samuel, or I'm not really a fan of a mid-tier receiver again in free agency. But if we get Samuel, I do want to draft a wide receiver like Jalen Waddle or somebody else. So that's just my thoughts on that, and then maybe get a corner in the draft because that's kind of the way it's looking right now.
So you want to know basically what I think about the thing you just proposed, Curtis Samuel, if we sign him and then get a wide receiver also in the draft. Yeah, I'm right with you there. If we sign Curtis, and I do like Curtis. I mean, back in January, I was like, he should be somebody we should look at to sign. If we sign him, not only do I think it's a good signing, and I do think he'll do good in this offense, I still want to get a wide receiver at 11, whether it's Waddle, whether it's Smith, whether it's Bateman. I'm still taking a wide receiver at 11 if we get Curtis Samuel, because at the end of the day, I recognize that he's like a really good number 2. I don't know if he has the potential to be the dominant number 1 that we need, but if we get Curtis, Waddle, and then Shepard, like that's your top 3 guys, because Curtis can play on the outside. He's not just a slot guy. That's a really nice receiving core right there for me.
And with that, you need a creative offensive coordinator. Hopefully, Jason Garrett will kind of change that. And what I heard something today on Giants Twitter, which could be something that could happen, is that obviously Freddie Kitchens was promoted to senior offensive assistant. Maybe he gets a little bit of control of the playbook, and John Ross has a couple of deep concepts he tries to run or something like that. So I think that's definitely something that could come out of this. And I personally like the John Ross deal. Something I just have a bugaboo about it, but I would put it aside if the Giants signed him. Corey Davis and Hassan Riddick. They didn't do anything in their careers. I'm not saying, how they were used or whatever. I would probably need context on that, to be honest with you. And, I would need context from Cardinals fans and Titans fans because I don't look at film and stuff like that. But obviously them producing in their final year after their option was declined was obviously big for them. And now they're going to get money on the market. Davis already did with the Jets, and now Hassan Riddick. With that, it just kind of scares me because what if they sign a contract with the Giants, or at least what if Riddick signs a contract with the Giants and he doesn't do anything? That's just what I'm worried about. But I guess
would you be happier if it's like a 1-year prove-it deal, kind of like Marcus Golden back in 2019? I think it was 2019.
Deshaun Watson's being sued by an attorney.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, I saw this pop up on Twitter. I'm not sure if it was like a reputable source, but apparently Deshaun Watson's being sued for sexual assault allegations, I think it was. That's crazy if true, but I only saw one person tweeting about it, which is why I didn't really mention it. I didn't see anybody else tweeting about it.
We'll see what happens with that. I mean, that's just out of the blue, out of nowhere. But, I just had a feeling earlier in the day when all our Giant fans were mad at Gettleman, I had a feeling something was going to happen. Whether it be clearing cap space with Solder's contract, Martinez's contract, Bradbury's contract, or just sign Leonard Williams to a deal like he was signed to. And I was happy with that because obviously the contract details, first it was like, $21 million a year. Then the contract details came out and, the signing bonuses and stuff like that. So that,
bro, how happy were you? Not only that we just got it done, but he's only taken 11 mil this year. I think that's the most underrated thing about it. I just love that. Like, that helps us out a lot, flexibility-wise.
Absolutely. Especially in the year we're in and, with COVID and everything, obviously stuff will be better next year. So I don't know if the Giants will probably restructure him next year or try to find a way, not a way out, but in terms of restructuring and stuff like that. But, I think it was good on the Giants' part. And I think, we have to give Leonard Williams some credit, even though he was trying to grab the bag as fast as he could or as, trying to get the most money out of it. But, I guess $11 million cap hit in the first year. It's good. Opens up some space for another wide receiver, another corner, or something like that. But as I said, I didn't expect the Giants to go out and...
Real quick, good night, Noah. Have a good one, man. Thank you for tuning in.
I didn't expect the Giants to go out and just blast free agency like they did last year. I didn't expect that. Did I expect them to take care of depth first before like Leonard Williams and John Ross? No, I did. I kind of expected, the other way around. But am I happy with it so far? Yeah. So that's just basically my thoughts on the offseason so far. And we're going to get guys in the draft. I don't know why everybody's skipping to the conclusions just like this group chat. I don't know why everyone's skipping the conclusions. Oh, Dallas, they've done more in the offseason than the Giants have. Really? Because they let go of their number one corner.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Hey, man, listen. I'm glad that you're looking at it from the positives. I'm going to tell you to just stay off the group chat for a couple hours. You look like you're about to get an ulcer or maybe a little bit of a brain tumor if you continue on it. You know what I'm saying?
My blood vessels will pop.
Yeah, I hear that high blood pressure isn't too good for sustained periods of time, man. But I'm going to ask you, Alex. It's the same question I asked everybody else. Would you rather sign Kenny G using the money that we have right now, and then that opens up so many doors for the draft, or would you rather sign a second linebacker and a guard, or a second corner and a guard, and then go wide receiver in the draft?
It's an interesting one. The only way I would do the second option, to be honest with you, is if we got Wyatt Davis within the second round, because that right now is the only caliber starter, and that's the best guard in the draft. If the Giants can get him, sure. Obviously the draft is after free agency, so we won't know in any universe, but primarily, I would go Golladay and then the draft. And I know it seems a little silly that, they didn't get a guard yet or whatever, but I guess Nate Solder, veteran on the offensive line. But as I said, we still have to give this offensive line some time to gel.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think about somebody brought it up. I highlighted the comment for a second. I'm sorry the comment is gone. Trey Turner, who's been a name that's popped up for a while now. What do you think about targeting him as a guard?
Only cheap. Only for cheap. I don't know how much money he's commanding. I know he came from the Chargers. I know before that he came from the Panthers. So maybe the Gettleman connection. I don't know if he drafted him or not. But in terms of that, only cheap, because I'm not paying, $13, $14 million for a backup guard who's not even going to start. He may start right guard, left guard, whatever to start the season, but he's not going to get the full time. I think the Giants are really invested in their young guys, whether it be on the defensive back side, whether it be on the defensive line, or whether it be on the offensive line.
Real quick, Simon is saying, did I hear about the Quan Alexander interest rumors? I did not. Quan Alexander interested in us, or us interested in Quan Alexander? There's a difference both ways, maybe? Listen.
That would be strange.
Quan Alexander next to Blake Martinez would be elite. However, you got to pay the elite price for Quan Alexander, in my opinion. What do you think? Would he still command that money? He would still command that money, right?
I still think he would.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know.
I said he's injury prone.
Yeah, Connex. Yeah, that's a good point as well. I think he went from the Bucs to the Niners, right?
Then to the Saints, and now he's a free agent.
Yeah. Okay, then.
All around the map.
He's been around the map recently. That's usually not a good sign. But he's going to command a bit more money than like any other linebacker too, because he's technically a linebacker one in a sense. But I haven't seen any rumors on that, Simon. So you're going to need to link me about it.
In terms of, I know there's obviously still rumors out there that Giants might pursue Hassan Reddick or any of the edge rushers. I'll put my bias aside for Hassan Reddick in the fourth year, the thing I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I would shoot myself in the foot if we got Jadeveon Clowney. I know, like some Giant.
How would we get him? Is he still a free agent? No, yeah. He's with Tennessee, bro. He signed with them last year. Wasn't it a multi-year deal?
It was a 1 year.
It was a 1 year,
$15 million.
I don't want him. I don't want him. He's still out there. I don't want him. Jadeveon Clowney.
I'm pretty sure he's still a free agent.
Let me look up his contract.
I want to say $15 million.
Please don't tell me he's there, because I don't want him. I really don't.
If that's the case, I'd rather sign Kyler Fackrell back to the Giants.
Yeah, he's currently an unrestricted free agent. And do you think we're going to sign Kyler Fackrell back?
If the Giants don't go after Hassan Reddick, might as well do that. What did he make? $4 million last year?
Like 3.5.
Yeah, somewhere around there. You could either sign him to a prove-it deal once again, or you could sign him like the David Mayo contract, which is easily, something you could get out of in the next year. Kind of like what they did exactly with Mayo.
Do we keep Devontae Downs? Another depth guy whose name's kind of fallen off the map.
He kept Devontae Downs. I'm pretty sure he's still on the roster.
He's still on the roster? Okay, then.
But, obviously, I'm not the GM of the team. I'm not I'm not Joe Judge.
Mm-hmm. And, Alex, you got any last questions for me?
No last questions. Just the thing of the fan base, because I know, Kush, your audience is pretty you guys are pretty chill in terms of, and also the Discord chat, but anyway, Talking Giants says, it was Devontae Downs. Yeah, it was. Damn
By the way,
right.
guys, if anybody wants to join the Discord, I posted the link just a couple minutes ago. Go ahead and join. Like Alex said, we're pretty chill in there. We don't really argue that much.
I mean, I'm also in the Entertainers Discord, and from one of the notifications I get, they're calm. You know, Entertainers the calm guy, you're the calm guy, and most of content creators that at least I know are pretty calm. You know, they see it out. It's just the radical fans that don't have platforms, or they do have platforms and it's only Twitter, you know, they just rage. But my basic message to anyone who's still unsure about this offseason, and I know, you know, people have heard a lot, you know, trust the process, do this, do that. Give it a little more time. The Giants were not expected to go out there in free agency and sign all these guys. You know, they signed Leonard Williams. Good for, you know, the Giants. They got it done and at a low cap hit for this year, you know, rather than just losing both of them. You got a depth receiver in John Ross that could compete for one of the spots with Dante Pettis. But anyway, guys, you know, the draft is a month away and we're not even just done with free agency yet. You know, the thing ends, the official year is tomorrow. So again, just as a final statement, guys, stay patient. And then, you know, except when they just prioritize kick returners, because I saw the Cordell Patterson thing earlier before they even signed Leonard Williams. I'm like, what are we doing here? But anyway, guys, stay patient. Coach, thanks for having me on.
Wait, real quick, because I got a couple questions in the chat. I'm kind of want to answer them with you on here. Let's see here. We got real quick from Connex. He says, do you think Washington will sign Samuel? Because there's been a couple rumors that's floating around as recent as a couple minutes ago on Twitter.
If they got the money, they will.
They have quite a bit of cap space.
Ron Rivera's the coach. I don't know any other Carolina connections, to be honest with you. If Kyle Allen was still there, you know, if they signed him as a backup, but they already got Fitzpatrick now, you know, I would see that connection. But once again, you know, what was I going to say? Rivera's the head coach. So I definitely see that connection. But I also see the connection to the Giants because Dave Gettleman.
All right, Alex, have a good one, man. Thank you for tuning in, bro, and calling in as usual. Guys, go out there, check out Big Blue in the Bronx.
Peace.
Next up, well, this is actually a special guest. He just finished recording, popped in the chat. Welcome on Giants podcasting legend, Bobby Skinner from Talking Giants. What's up, Bobby? Thank you.
My man. We talked either yesterday or the day before.
Yeah.
So we got done recording, and this is the nutcase I am. I'm literally I'm going to do a little breakdown on the new fullback just because why not? And so I was like, let me put some YouTube music on, and then I saw you were live. I was like, oh, yeah. So I had to jump on, man, because I wanted to talk to you. So I'm glad I could jump on with you.
No problem, man. I am a big fan of you guys. Discovered you guys off of Reddit like 2-3 years ago. You guys are like legends in Giants podcasting. So like I said it to Justin when Justin came on a couple weeks ago, you guys are an inspiration, man. Thank you so much for what you do.
Well, I appreciate the kind words, and I see Coney ASAP from the future in the chat, one of our favorite listeners. Yeah, man, it's fun. You know, I've done this basically every time I jump on a YouTube stream with someone else's content. We didn't do YouTube until this year. In fact, we joked about it on the show will be out tomorrow. And during training camp is when we start putting our podcast on YouTube, and our first podcast, like our faces are like up in the camera like this. It looks so stupid. Now YouTube's like huge for us, so it's cool, man. I didn't realize there's so many people doing Giant stuff. Like I didn't know Chris until like July last year. I knew Chris because I remember because we're called Talking Giants, and his streams say Talking Giants. And I was like, that kind of sucks. We use the same name even though his channel's different. And then we ended up meeting and stuff. So,
well, at least there's one difference. I think his full title is Talking Giants with Chris and the Bad Dog.
Yeah,
so has a little add-on.
I was like, oh man, he's been doing it for a while. Does he think we stole his name? And it's like so. But now we're good friends though, so it's all good.
By the way, guys, hashtag Talking Giants versus the world. That's been actually like taken off a little bit on Twitter.
So, I love it. Let me pull up the stickers. You can get this. Hold on.
He's going to grab the iconic sticker that's been appearing everywhere. They're not photoshopped. At least some of them aren't photoshopped, but they've been appearing everywhere. And I was like, you going to get the stickers that's been appearing all over the world in random places.
I know. We got this one. Had to do one in Little Caesars. A couple from Dumb and Dumber. They're not great. They're a little dark, so I'm not a big fan of these ones where it's hard to see. This one's my favorite, though. The throwing the bike through the window, Ricky.
Because that's the GIF you guys always post on Twitter.
Yeah, it's from, everyone knows Trailer Park Boys is my favorite show. It's just it's just a great gif and great picture. So, talking Giants to the rest of the world, dude, I love it, man. I love doing this stuff, man, and it's cool seeing you guys doing it. And even if I didn't jump on, it's like, okay, let me throw Hub on in the background while I watch some film. So it's all good, man. It's all fun too.
But yeah, go ahead. I mean, if nobody in the chat has seen your reaction to all the news today, I haven't yet because I've been busy all day. I mean, go ahead, man. What you think about the Williams signing and whatnot?
So the Williams signing is good because Williams is a really good player, and it's good to get him back. I do see the criticism, not of it, like in a vacuum, it had to be done in a vacuum. But I do see I understand the criticism from the big picture. It's like the trade really put the Giants in a bad situation where you could not trade this guy and then let him walk in free agency in 2019. You couldn't do it, and it's coming off of a year where he was still a really good player, but raw numbers still matter too, and he only had half a sack. So if he made it to the open market, the Giants probably would have got him for like an $11 to $12 million deal, 3 years. Probably a similar contract to Blake Martinez. They probably would have got him for, but he plays under the tag and then has a career year. So we could be talking about a difference in $9 million a year of what ended up happening, and then them tagging him again. You see all the edge rushers get like still big contracts, but none of them got 21 mil.
Yeah, Leo, in terms of pass rusher, was the largest contract this offseason.
Yeah, and I viewed him as the number 2 behind Shaq Barrett. Shaq Barrett wasn't going to leave Tampa, though. But he gets he got $3 million a year more than Shaq Barrett got, and then, $6 million more than, this guy, and $4 million than this guy. So I understand the big picture criticism, and I actually kind of agree with it. But in a vacuum, the Giants had to bring back Leonard Williams. He's way too important to the defense to let him walk.
Especially after Dalvin walked, right? You kind of saying to yourself, oh, we can't lose Leonard too.
Yeah, and they kind of go hand in hand. And I love Dalvin, but losing him isn't the worst thing in the world. He's a good player, but the Giants are ready to replace him. They're not gonna get someone as good as Dalvin, but Dex was good in year 2. And
I was gonna say, don't you think Dex just slides over to nose?
He'll get nose reps, but I don't see him being like he's the nose tackle. I do think they're going to play Austin Johnson a little bit. BJ Hill's a guy they like. And then Dex is already good, but we see with defensive tackles, a lot of time year 3 is the big jump for them. I mean, that's what it was for Dalvin. So, I mean, you could end up seeing like Dex being Dex could be the star of this defense next year, and I wouldn't be surprised.
And Dexter, I mean, even he was underrated even coming out in the 2019 draft. I remember that was when my channel was in its first year. And when we picked them up and people were kind of angry because they were like, oh, we took a defensive tackle at 17th overall. I'm like, no. Dex isn't a normal defensive tackle. Even at Clemson, he was disrupting the pocket. He was always a pocket pusher. He always got good pressure, and he was always getting his hands up. And like he's translated that pretty well to the NFL. So it's crazy to think he could get even better. It's like because people see him as primarily a run stuffer, which, I mean, to be fair, he is. But he has really underrated pass rushing ability, I think.
Yeah, obviously he's not like a defensive end pass rusher, but for like a defensive tackle, he's a really good pass rusher. So I can't wait to see. I really can see, I think a lot of times we overrate the jump that a guy can make. Like every year, like this year it was like O'Shane Ximines is going to make that jump. It's like, will he though? Now he got hurt, so he didn't get to prove himself. The year before, Lorenzo Carter. Lorenzo Carter is going to be the next big thing. It's like, I like him, but I don't think he's going to make this huge jump into this great player. But Dex is already good, so I wouldn't be surprised at all if Dex is like the star of the defense next year, where he's getting 6 sacks and double digit.
Like he's just going to be noticeable in the backfield, basically.
Yeah, and people who watch film love Dex too, so it's not like I said, he was good in year 2, but give him a little more of those raw stats, those box score stats.
Hey, we hit 100 likes. Thank you to everybody in here. This is only my second stream ever to hit 100 likes, so that's a milestone.
Dude,
Thank
you
guys.
got a good crowd in here. When I was when I was watching, it had over 100 views, man. A nice little crowd. Currently
120 watching. This is also once again like the second largest or the largest stream I've ever had. So shout out to everybody in here. I think a big reason is because nobody else is really streaming the Giants right now, so that's definitely helping me out. But
I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Say the Giants decide Kenny Golladay. Would you rather that happen while you're on a stream or while you're not on a stream?
I would rather. Oh, that's a good question.
I hate news happening while I'm recording something. We got the Dalvin news and it threw me out of whack. I need my hour of prep and put together. Like when news happens, even if it's that fullback signing, I go into like scramble, like get these numbers, put out this tweet, do this. And I was like, okay, how many snaps did he have in this game? Go find the film on it, which I'm doing now. He got trumped by John Ross signing. But it's like whenever the Giants do something, I go into scramble. Like I need an hour just to get work done, and then I finally calm down and I'm ready to talk about it.
For me, I would say I'd rather it happen off stream, just kind of a similar situation, so I could actually get my thoughts together a little bit and like make a proper reaction / like thoughts video. I wouldn't mind it happening live though, just because it would be pretty cool to have a live reaction. It happened last night actually with not with the Giants, but with a lot of signings happened last night while I was streaming in terms of the late night guys. Shout out to Lucas. Thank you so much. A channel member for the $50 Australian, I think. It says
Damn.
But thank you, Lucas, for the donation. He says, congrats on the stream record, bro. W. Thank you, Lucas. Only W's today. The Giants gave me 2 W's with Leo and Ross. We got a W with the stream record. You guys have been amazing. Speaking of which, you gave your thoughts on the Leo one. What do you think about John Ross? At least on Giants Twitter, like it was 50-50.
I love it because it's no risk. It's $1 million guaranteed. There's zero risk to this deal. High reward. He burns guys. Like if you talk to Bengals people, he burns guys. So that you have that ability to get big plays. The Giants are blitzed a ton. Blitz us and watch us put John Ross on a slant. Like that's something we haven't had since Odell's. Like we don't have a guy that can take a slant for 30 yards. You're never going to get Odell's level with that. I mean, he's elite with that stuff. But like that speed kills. On the other side, he has injuries and his drops are so bad. Like he makes Evan Engram, the heat will be taken off of Evan Engram. I can't believe all the drops I was watching on film. His drops are really bad. But with the change of scenery.
Do you think Tolbert could help fix that? Because Slayton had drops in college.
Slayton still has a couple drops here and there too, though. I don't know, but the thing is there's no high expectations for John Ross. There's it's low risk, high reward. So
only $1 million guaranteed too.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. Like if he doesn't make the team and you have Dante Pettis, they sign someone tomorrow and they draft somebody and he's the 6th wide receiver. Like I don't think anybody is mad about that, So it's there's no risk in it, and there's a high reward. You hope you can get a Nelson Aguilar year like the Raiders did, where he, in Philly, 1st round bust, hated him, literally roasting him on the news with during a fire.
Well, yeah,
one of the greatest clips of all time.
We were catching him on like Aguilar stares at the camera, and that was hilarious.
There's a lot of funny news clips. The run and tell that. Hide your kids. I ain't got no time for that. Bronchitis. There's a lot of good ones. None better than that one. The Leprechaun in the Hood. None is better than out here catching these kids. Unlike Nelson Aguilar, no better.
Stares at the camera.
No better news clip than that.
Shout out to Simon for the $2 super chat. He says, "Bobby, Dex's ability to read screens needs notice."
I love it. And I love when he catches the guy with one hand. He catches the jersey and just like pulls him down like.
Bro, he's a monster.
It's so funny when he'll take a running back, grab the back of his jersey and like just pull him down like a child. That has to feel so satisfying at the NFL.
Not only is he a monster power wise, but at his size, he's fast.
Oh yeah, he's an athlete, man.
Super fast.
I love Dex. He's one of my favorite players on the team.
But yeah, getting back to kind of like how Giants. What do you have to say to some Giants fans that just like seem to not like anything that's happening right now?
You gotta ignore them. Like the Freeman stuff, I don't like that. Not because Freeman's a bad player, but it's like we shouldn't be spending that type of money on our backup running back. And especially for I keep on calling him Freeman. Booker, Devonta Booker. Who was going to be in a bidding war for Devonta Booker? It's not like we're getting like a top backup running back on for like, $3 million. Like, yeah, do we need it? But that's a good move. Booker has done nothing, and he's 29 years old. So I don't like that move, even though I do think Booker might be better suited as a backup where Wayne Gallman's not a good spell back, and that's what you need with Saquon. Gallman needs his volume. So I understand moving on from Gallman. So that I understand. I understand that. The Austin Johnson, it's like he didn't do anything to prove to get a 200% raise. But today in a vacuum, you shouldn't be mad. Like the reaction to the fullback signing, I was like, come on, guys. Like there's nothing. This is fine. He's going to come in and compete.
Was it Dan Duggan or another beat reporter that tweeted, and then he's like, and I'm turning off my mentions. I'm like, is it really that serious?
It's like there's nothing like this. This is a perfectly fine move. And people are like, well, why do it now? Well, why not? And it's like it's not like they're ignoring Kenny Galladay's agent to get this deal done. Like, well, it doesn't look good because they haven't got anything done. It's like, okay, they got Leonard Williams done 45 minutes later and John Ross done an hour later.
Bobby, what are you
wasn't
talking
stopping
about,
them from doing anything.
Of course they were ignoring Kenny Galladay's agent. You kidding me? They were talking with Kenny's agent. They hung up. They were like, wait a minute, let me contact this guy from the Texans real quick and get the deal. Because that's how it seems like some of these fans are thinking.
It's funny you say that because we actually did a role play on the end of tomorrow's podcast of how that went, of how some people thought that went down. So you have to listen to the whole episode tomorrow to get that.
I bet it premieres usually midday, right?
Well, we just put it out at 8 in the morning. It goes on the podcast app at like 1 in the morning, and then we put it on YouTube at 8 o'clock a.m.
Sharp. All right, I'll check it out. Hopefully I'm up by then. But yeah, you mentioned, some fans, they have reason with the Booker thing. Now, Booker as a player, do you like him better than Gallman? Do you think he fits us?
If you're telling me they're going to be a starter, I probably would go with Gallman because he's proven it more. But as a spellback, Gallman just is not a good spellback. Look at him behind Saquon. He only averages like 3.5 yards per carry. He's not going to give you that big play. So I think Booker is that guy where he can give you those big plays, but he's also going to be north and south and get those yards. And he's also good enough if Saquon goes down to start, you're not worried about Booker being your backup. So, and I never wanted to pay Gallman money anyway, so I'm fine with the player they brought in.
By the way, I do want to say anybody's welcome to join the Discord. I know Dylan. This is Dylan Renner. He says he doesn't want any Eagles or Cowboys fans. Anybody is welcome. I just want to put that out there. Anybody's welcome to the Discord. Dylan is just a troll. He been doing this for a minute now. Just want to put that out there. All right. And then, you know what, Bobby? Since I'm going to go until 12, you fine with just taking the rest of the callers with me?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Next up, we got Ash Money Records. Ash Money, how you doing, bro? He's another up-and-coming sports channel. Is he there? You there, bro?
Yeah, what's good, What's good, Bobby?
What's going on, Ash Money? Is your name? What's your name, Ash Money, or do you want us to call you Ash Money?
Y'all can call me Ashton. My name's Ashton.
I think I'm just gonna go with Ash Money.
Like I said, the Leonard Williams deal, Hub, last time I said, it's a good deal. When we put the franchise tag on him, I said, that's good. If we're running the scheme, dude was like really like the third best defensive lineman in all of football last year. I mean, there's no denying that. But on the offensive side, I'm just saying, like, dog, we really have to go big. Like, I know people are like, well, if we don't get Kenny Golladay, we can sign Curtis. But listen, I'm an Ohio State fan, and just like a lot of colleges, players they build brotherhoods. Curtis Samuels I think he's gonna go to Washington. I'll be surprised if he comes to us. I know people are like, oh, he has ties to Dave Gettleman, but he also has ties to his old head coach Ron Rivera and Terry McLaurin and Chase Young. And Washington just won the division off of a fluke. I don't care what anybody says, but I forgot his name, but like the really passionate Giants fan that just came on.
Mizrahi.
Yeah. Kenny, and I agree with Kenny Golladay is like a Plaxico. And you really have to have that number one receiver on our offense to really get our offense going. It's going to make everybody better. It's going to make Sterling better. We're going to make Saquon better. And I don't want to compare him to Odell, but listen, if you weren't like a number one corner with a big ego, like a Josh Norman, Jalen Ramsey, even like a Xavier Rhodes back in Minnesota, you're not going to one-on-one press Odell. Even if Odell's out there with a sprain, like with a wrap around his ankle. You want to know why? Because even the thought of Odell put the fear of God into like defenses. Like Odell was, if not one of the most dynamic players like on offense. So you gotta like really have. I'm not saying Kenny Golladay is that dude, but you really have to. And that one report, I don't know, I forgot who said it, but he was like, the Giants might not.
Albert Breer.
yeah, the Giants might be interested in like other receivers, just not Kenny Golladay, like or Juju or Samuel. You know, you have to. I just feel like you have to go big, and make a push for Kenny Golladay because he's just going to open up our offense so much better. And even in the draft, like I just feel like you get the best offensive player available. I'm a big offensive guy. You know, I'm a believer of defense with championships, but I also believe that you know the offense is going to be the part of the football team that's going to take you there to that championship. So,
Yeah, Bobby, I'm gonna let you go because I've spent 2 hours basically responding to this question. So yeah, you could go ahead and give your thoughts on it, like how you feel about Kenny G and whatnot, and going hard for him.
I'm all in on Kenny Golladay, man. He is, Ash, you hit it on the head. He makes this whole team better. And, you know, he's not a guy that's going to get a ton of separation, but he's that big play guy that gets those contested catches. That is the perfect wide receiver for Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is a touch thrower, and you know, he led the NFL in QB rating throwing the ball downfield this year. It's just a perfect mix. And like you mentioned, it makes Slayton better. Slayton no longer is getting safety help over the top. He no longer has the cornerback one. He can kind of have some of those big plays that he had his rookie year. Shep can play both inside and outside. He's only a slot, stuff isn't true. But I would like him to be in the slot with an outside guy.
yeah, me too.
So Golladay, you know, he's not the perfect player. You know, I don't think he's not like a top 5 wide receiver. There is some injury concern. But if Kenny Golladay signs with the Giants, man, I don't think I would celebrate it more than any guy they could have signed in free agency the last 2 years.
Imagine Giants fans on Twitter still complaining if they sign Kenny Golladay.
I think that would be the one, though, that really brings us together would be Kenny Golladay. Because, I mean, you know, you take chances when you sign those guys, the big money that have injury issues. But I think Kenny's worth that chance. Especially, like, we need to take those chances with Daniel Jones right now.
What do you think about the comparison that several people had made tonight between Kenny and Plaxico?
It's the perfect comparison. Kenny would be Daniel Jones, Plaxico Burress. You know, they're not the same players, but they are similar types. And Jones and Eli were both touch throwers. And both want to be aggressive. They this offense in year 2 took away some of the aggressiveness from Daniel Jones just because of play type. But you look at his rookie year, you look at Daniel Jones in college, he wants to attack downfield.
Yeah.
And Kenny Golladay forces this Giants offense, Jason Garrett, to do that. You can't bring in a Kenny Golladay and put him on.
I was literally going to ask, when does this offense change to be a bit more vertical? Because it was a little bit too safe for me last year, if that makes any sense.
Look at Jason Garrett when he has the number 1 guy like Des Bryant, Amari Cooper, and when he doesn't. It's like it's like 2 different play calls. When he has those guys, he's stretching the field vertically. Still not the best offense in the world. It's kind of unimaginative, but you can win like that. So Golladay forces him to do that.
And literally, I don't know why people are like getting so upset about the John Ross signing. John Ross is really going to take away the coverage over the top. Like he's a speedster guy, and he's shifty. And also how I also agree with you about like the Evan Engram take you had. I think Evan Ingram's like problems are all mental. I don't think if you get a Golladay, I don't think Ingram's gonna drop the ball as much. I really don't. I feel like Evan Engram, you know, he's a good tight end. He's basically, you know, a receiver. You just have to know how to use him right. Again,
I like the way Shermer used him. Yeah. I know everyone's like, "Oh, we got to find us." I was fine with the way Pat Shermer used Evan Engram. Look at his numbers Look at Evan Ingram's numbers with Pat Shermer, and they're good. It was just the injuries. Now, this year he didn't have the injuries, and Garrett used them like he was Jason Witten.
And also, you know, and I'm saying this, if the Giants get Golladay, then you either get like either Pitts or Waddle, Smith, by God's grace, Jamar Chase. Daniel Jones is going for at least 30 touchdowns. I'm booking it right now.
Believe it.
Right now.
Through 24 and 12 games as a rookie. There's no he should, he should be. His touchdown this year was part him, part running the ball at the 1 yard line, and a lot of Jason Garrett. But he should be a guy that should be throwing 24 to 30 something touchdowns every year.
And then I'll tell you this: if our wide receiving core ends up looking anything similar to this, Golladay, Shepard, Slayton, maybe even still a weapon at 11, whether you think that's Pitts or whether you think that's Smith or Waddle as like your top 4 guys with Saquon in the backfield and with presumably a better offensive line, because I don't think they're going to ignore any remaining improvements. It's like it gets you excited, but it's like, at what point do you guys think we need to slow it down a little bit and maybe temper our expectations?
If we come out week 1 and the offensive play calling is the same, that's when. So the hope is that they truly did evaluate themselves. They're changing. Kitchens is basically the run game coordinator now. Even though I did like the run schemes halfway through the season, they changed it up. Or if you get all those weapons, the offensive system changes to what suits Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones stinks, and that's when it happens. And that's why year three is so huge for a QB. Even if, like Sam Darnold, I think Sam Darnold can be good. Right now he's not good, but he has no chance. But I also think the Jets, like, you kind of screwed him. You're picking number 2. You might just need to move on and start fresh, because you're not going to get that out of Sam Darnold with the way the roster is right now.
I really don't think any quarterback going into his first 3 years could have done good in Sam Darnold's situation.
No, it's brutal, man. I watched every snap that Becton was a part of that team, so you can imagine that it's worse without Becton. And because for my my breakdowns, and I felt so bad for the guy. It's like, this guy, besides Becton, this guy's running for his life all game long, and his receivers aren't. I felt bad for Donald, the situation he was in this past year. Adam Gase on top of that.
Yeah, real quick, Mizrahi, I did ask Bobby about the Plaxico comparison. He said he likes it. It makes sense. And since you brought up Becton, I got to ask you, because I'm a huge Andrew Thomas fan. Last year, I was all aboard the Andrew Thomas train, as soon as we beat Washington, or 2 years ago, I should say. That's crazy, 2 years ago. As soon as we beat Washington, I was like, go get Andrew Thomas. And I think Andrew Thomas had a better rookie year than most people had. You're the O-line guy. What do you think about Andrew Thomas year 2?
I was the same. Andrew Thomas was the guy I wanted at 4. I celebrated it. Quick recap on year 1. Obviously, everyone knows the first half struggles were there. If you go off the last 8 games of the year for him, Wills, and Becton, I think a lot of people will be like, okay, I like Thomas. Him and Becton are close, but Becton wasn't having the same dominant plays that he had in the first half of the year. And Thomas was flat out better than Wills in the second half of the season. Wirfs, I only watched 1 playoff game. He looked really good. He might be the best. But going into year 2, I feel very confident. Like for example, when Kevin Zeitler was cut, I was projecting Kevin Zeitler to be the 3rd best lineman in 2021. Nick Gates was the best one this past season, and I was projecting it like Andrew Thomas. He'll have, he could have a bad game or 2, but I would feel confident in Andrew Thomas going into next year. Like I don't have worries about him like he was an Eric Flowers type or anything.
Dude, I do as well. Khalil Mack back to back, starting his rookie season.
And he dominated Dupree. Yeah. And then teams realized he was leaving his inside open, and they attacked that. And then finally, versus Tampa, he started protecting his inside, and then he realized, I'm athletic enough in the NFL to where these guys aren't going to beat me around the edge. So
also, I really like the Rob Sale signing as our new offensive line coach. I've only heard good things about him, and
Flaherty.
Pat Flaherty coming back. On the coaching side of things, it just makes me more excited to see what happens for the line.
Got Dumbo Colombo out of there.
Yeah. Ash Money, let me get your last question, and then there's going to be the last caller tonight, man.
I don't really have another question. I just want to say, shout out to you, Hug. Your content's really great. And Bobby Skinner, man, shout out to you, man. I'm a journalism major, myself. So, looking at people, whether that's on YouTube that really into podcasts, or looking at people on ESPN or something, that's my goal, really. So you're really an inspiration.
I appreciate that, man. Keep killing it.
Thank you, Ash Money. And guys, go over there, check out his channel, Ash Money Records Sports Topics, I think is the full name. Go ahead, check it out.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Next up, last caller tonight, if he's still awake. AP, are you still there? Before I add you, you're going to need to show me that you're still there. I think he's still there. He is. What up, AP? How you doing?
Hey, Hub. Hi, Bobby. How you guys doing?
What's going on, man?
All right. I don't know if it's just because of Twitter or all this Leo news, but I'm all aboard the Kenny Golladay train. I think we're overestimating the injury concern, just in my opinion, because the thing is about a number one receiver and a number one running back, when you put them together, you decrease the injuries to both of them. Kenny Golladay opens up the box, obviously, and Saquon obviously makes it so that you can't leave. What do you call it? So that you can't leave Golladay by himself, right? So in that way, I don't really see the injury concern. I mean, obviously it's a problem, but I don't see it hurting us as much as other people think. But what do you guys think about that?
I think there's an injury concern, but I also think it's overblown because supposedly he kind of wasn't in a rush to come back this past year. But I don't blame him, man. The way the stuff that came out about Patricia seems like he was just a really bad coach and really hard to work with. And then even listen to interviews of him, it's like, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
So I understand that. Like, I think sometimes we forget these people are human beings. But you can also be like, hey, you get paid a lot of money to go out there and give your all, and it doesn't matter who the coach is. So, but before that, it wasn't like he was missing like 9-10 games.
Yeah, I was about to ask, how many games in his career has he missed due to injury?
I think the 2 previous years he might have only missed 1 game. Here, I could pull it up real quick.
So in 2020 he played 5, which I'm guessing.
In 2019 he played 16, and then in 2018 he only played 5 games in 2020. 15. So yeah, and then his rookie year I think he missed some games too.
Yeah. So
his
yeah,
rookie year he missed 5 games.
2018, 2019 looking pretty good. 2020, I don't know if you were here earlier, somebody was saying kind of a conspiracy theory. They don't think he was injured. They think he was just trying to get out of Detroit.
I think he probably got injured and then probably didn't come back. He probably wasn't his main goal to come back and play.
He probably didn't want to get injured again and then decrease his value on the market. That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm. And
All right.
John Spin Sports says, I got a question. How many picks next season because Engram can't catch? What was it, 6 picks this season?
It's crazy. You had, let's think of the picks that were directly Evan Ingram's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Week 2 versus Chicago, it wasn't a drop, but Daniel Jones was throwing it to him. As he's throwing, Ingram slips, it pops up. But say that, don't even count that one. San Francisco on the reverse, the ball hits both hands, catch it. That's a fumble. The Rams, none. Dallas, none. Philly, week 6, or Washington, none. Philly, interception off his hands on 3rd down, and then the drop at the end of the game.
That in itself is like 3 picks to me.
And if that last one, if he catches it, we win the game, we win the division. Like you can play the if game with a lot of stuff, but
no, I legitimately think that division was decided that game.
It's like I said, you can always go back in games and be like, if this, if that, but if that he catches that, the game's over. There's no chance of the Eagles. The game is over. So that's why I can play that game with that. And then after that, Tampa, no drops. He had one against Seattle that turned into an interception. The second Dallas game that turned into an interception. Washington, there was the second Washington game. There was one, but it got called back for a penalty. He had a fumble versus Cincinnati. I feel like I'm missing one more. It's comical how many.
I may be pulling this number out of nowhere, but for some reason I feel like 6 is what he was responsible for.
Yeah, and it's even if he has all those drops next year, you would have the hope is well, hopefully they don't all turn the interceptions like that. Like it's like if you just drop the ball down, dude. Stop popping it up for the defense behind you.
Yeah, I think someone said it earlier. I think Ingram will be better this season though, just because the pressure.
He can't be worse than he was last year.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, he had over half of DJ's picks. I mean, how worse can it get?
He had the worst passer rate. The QBs had Daniel Jones had no receiver. QB had a worse passer rating when being targeted than Evan Engram. That's a Justin Penix stat.
Right there.
Really?
That's a Justin Penix stat.
That's true.
Now that's not all his fault. Like the TJ Watt interception versus Pittsburgh, that's not his fault. The one against San Francisco at the end of the half, that's not his fault. But with all those targets, there's so many turned into interceptions. That's why. It's because so many balls thrown to Evan Engram.
I mean, it's going to be
fault
less.
Or not were interceptions.
It's going to be less this year just because of the fact we're going to target him less. Once again, when and if we get that number 1 receiver, it just automatically cuts his targets down, which I'm going to be happy about. But AP, go ahead.
Yeah, going back to the number 1 receiver thing. I I know some people aren't really about double dipping with receiver like this offseason, but my dream scenario is getting Golladay and Waddle. Because if you get those two, forget about having a bad offense next year. I don't see how Garrett can mess up both of those guys, especially with Saquon coming back. There's just no way that Daniel Jones has any excuse next year if you get those two guys.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. What sucks is you have a guy, either Shepard or Slayton, who's not getting a lot of reps, who are both players you like. But I would be fine with that too, because it's like, you know what, we're not gonna, like, we're trying to make this offense good. Like, we're the 31st ranked offense. The defense was ranked 9th. We're trying to make this offense good, and there's not an edge guy that you like. Oh, we're missing out on this edge guy. Mike, I love Micah Parsons, but I don't think he makes our defense a ton better because we already have Blake. But you could argue that one of the corners could make the defense a lot better.
I did it in my mock draft. They did it in theirs. Chaz Surratt.
Chaz Surratt, baby.
Paulson Adebo in the 3rd. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm going to say.
I need to watch them. I told you I was going to watch those guys, and I didn't. I think I watched one.
Real quick, what did you think of the whole mock in general, the players I selected?
I like the positions. Again, like I said, I didn't know all the players. You had – your first was Waddle, correct? Mm-hmm. Second was Chaz, or was Chaz in the 3rd?
Second was Chaz. Third
was the Stanford corner, right?
Yeah.
And then the rest, I didn't know them, but I like the position.
Yeah, in the 4th, I went Ronnie Perkins, who's kind of being overvalued. Yeah, he's. Some people have him in the 2nd. I think he's the 4th. I think in the 5th round. This is embarrassing. I can't even remember my own mock draft. Who did I have in the 5th? I had somebody in the 5th. Do we have a 5th? No, we don't have a 5th. We have 2-6.
No, we have 2-6, no 5th.
Okay, that's why. Yeah, because then in the 6th round, I went a receiver out of Rams.
Oh, the 6'6" guy.
The 6'6" guy, and then lastly, I went a tackle, I think. But yeah, it was offensive line or tackle. Yeah, but hey man, when you get a chance, definitely check them out real quick. There is Richard Sherman's $9 million 1-year deal to the Chargers, so we do have a signing announced late tonight. And shout out to Entertainer Talking Sports in the chat. Tana tuning in late night. What's up, Tana?
Hey, Chris, what's going on, my man?
AP, let me get your last thoughts, man.
Yeah, so, like I said earlier, I just want Golladay, man. I just want Golladay. If nothing else, please just give me Golladay. That's my Christmas gift this year. I don't need anything else.
I hear you, man.
You guys have a good night. I'm out.
Peace, AP. And guys, well, Bobby, first of all, any last thoughts, because it is already past 12. I just have to end the stream for the sake of ending it so I could get some sleep. But any last thoughts, Bobby?
Nope. I'm about to see if I can get enough reps to do a fullback breakdown so I can get all the comments of why you're doing this. But I like doing that stuff. So, Hub, I'm glad I was able to jump on through this this week where I feel like I've gotten no sleep. I couldn't sleep Sunday night because of the time change. And then last night I was up till 3 a.m. doing a breakdown. And I'm not going to sleep again tonight. So I'm ready to get some work done.
Crazy is it's just beginning. You might not get sleep.
I know. I have to. I still do some side work on Wednesday mornings. I'm like, just please don't make any signings until 11 a.m. tomorrow. Wait until I'm done doing that stuff until 11 a.m. and we'll be good. Although I got all my Kenny Golladay clips and stats ready to go. So if it's Golladay, I'm ready.
You got to be prepared just in case. But real quick though, Bobby, if you are available tomorrow, it is Young Guns tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? If you are available, pop in Wednesday night, 9:30.
I forgot Wednesday night was when you asked me. I was thinking for some reason I was thinking I missed tonight. I'll let you know. It depends on what happens tomorrow, but I'll make sure to remind me. I was like, man, that's why. I was like, how didn't I was like, I told him to bug me beforehand, and I see if I can.
Because it was like I was gonna text you again tomorrow and be like, if you're good for tonight.
I was like, I hope he didn't think I was like blowing him off. So that's why.
Nah.
Well,
I know.
I came on, and I'll let you know if I come on. Kid Blue goes on with you on Wednesday nights, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Again, message me tomorrow, and we'll see what happens depending on what happens with the Giants. If Kenny Golladay signs, I probably won't be able to.
Oh yeah, one last thing I gotta ask you. What do you think about Juju? I'm not really on the Juju train.
I'm not a fan of the football fit. I just don't think he's a big enough upgrade to get excited about, but he would be an upgrade. Here, can I say this? The overreaction to the TikTok I don't care that he does TikTok. To me, like the logo stuff, I understand. I understand why other teams like that bothers them, but on my team that doesn't bother me. Like I'm pretty anti-Odell, but Odell dancing or doing the dog piss on the Eagles field, that didn't bother me. What bothered me about Odell was the walking off early, trashing teammates, going on ESPN, like kind of all that stuff. Juju hasn't done. The only thing I've seen that Juju was like, come on, dude, why did like that quote he had about the Browns before the playoff game, like we view the Browns as the Browns, like that. So I don't view like the off-field stuff as like, oh, this guy he's a headache. I think it's just TikTok triggers a lot of people. Just the word, just the people. The word TikTok.
It is a pretty cringe platform. I ain't gonna lie.
We've tried using it and we suck at it. It really ends up just turning into me doing Trailer Park Boy clips. So,
I mean that could take off on TikTok though. That you could find a niche.
Let me try and pull up a TikTok that we have done. Let's see. We only have 115 followers. Sometimes it's just me doing my like potato gun on the weekend stuff. Okay, like this one.
I love it. I love carpet.
It's it's basically me clipping Giant stuff, people saying stuff with movie quotes. So I'm not good at TikTok.
I don't think anybody is good at TikTok, bro. I'm gonna keep it real with you. And
I don't know how to do it. Like I see people like doing it. I don't know how to do it at all. So
it's literally become like almost like YouTube, where it's like kind of a job for some people, and I find that kind of low key impressive because I'm like, I don't know how you turn a short clip thing into like an actual living. That's impressive on some level.
I'm low key hoping it just goes away eventually because I know I'm not gonna be able to figure out that platform. So I hope it just goes away like Vine one day.
By the way, as I'm closing out here, another deal just went down. The Rams are nearing a deal that sends Michael Brockers to the Lions. Another trade between Brad Holmes and Les Snead. So it doesn't say what the compensation is, but Rams and Lions trading quite a bit this offseason, or at least exchanging players quite a bit this offseason.
Yeah. Leonard Floyd, 16 mil. That was crazy.
They what?
Leonard Floyd got 16 mil.
Yeah. And apparently the Giants were actually trying to get him, at least according to Jordan Renan earlier this night.
Yeah, I had all my Leonard Floyd tweets and highlights like put together because I thought it was happening and didn't happen. Like I have a highlight of all of Cordell Patterson's kick returns for touchdowns in my phone right now because one person mentioned Jordan Renan said
like one dude mentioned him only.
It was Jordan Renan, and I asked him, I was like, should I do my homework on it? And he's like, I don't know. But they're in the mix for it. But I think John Ross probably took them out of the mix for it.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, once again, I gotta end it. This was great. You guys were amazing. Shout out to Bobby for popping in towards the end. Great stream, man. Have a good one. We're out.